Hello, Doug.
How are we doing?
Good. How are you?
Oh, not bad, mate. A little bit nervous, but I'm sure I'll be okay.
Can you hear us, Alex? Can you hear us, mate? Can you hear us all right?
I can. Seems
Spot on.
Lewis is repeating himself?
There's a little bit of an echo on your end, Lewis, mate, but I think we're good. I think we're good as of now, and I can see that Darren has said we can't hear you. So I think we had the group on mute. We'll start that again. Alex, how you doing, mate? You well?
Yeah, I'm good. I think it was me on with two screens up, but I think the echo might have gone now. Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, good, mate. Good, mate. Good to see you. Cheers for joining us. And Lewis, will start your introduction as well, mate. Are you all right? You well?
Yeah, I had a bit of a long day at work, but yeah, other than that, I'm all good.
What is it you do for graft, mate, if you don't mind me asking?
Pardon, mate, sorry?
What is it you do for graft?
I contract manage care homes on behalf of the City Council.
Nice,
so
nice.
When I have
Changing
a long
lives,
day,
mate.
it's a long day.
Brilliant. So before we get into it, obviously regular viewers will see that we haven't got Darren with us tonight. He does have a pretty nasty bout of AIDS, so we wish him all the best for recovering from that. You know, that's what happens when you get up Atlantics. And obviously we have no tips tonight as well. He's a little bit hungover. Shall we start with a little bit of your teams, boys, or rather our teams? So Alex, this is who you've went for tonight: Murphy, Dabby's Ass, Hart, Carboni, Giggs, York, and JFH. Just talk us through your logic there, Alex, mate. What were your big decisions that you had to make this week?
Look, I mean, I was toing and froing the last few hours. I think Dwight York was a given all the sim data. I think there weren't really any away strikers to pick from, so Jimmy had to be the one. The rest, Hart again was nailed on, and I like Dabby's Ass's data, but the rest could have been absolutely anyone. I mean, I never picked the right United midfielder. Man City, I don't know about the rest. We'll see. But three or four were nailed. The others could have been anybody.
Absolutely, in the lap of the gods. And then Lewis, mate, you have went for Given, who I think he does. Yeah, you see the tweet in the background there. Has fairly high ownership in the background. Honshaw, Hart, two guy who I really like as a pick. Beckham, Anelka, and that should say JFH, but JFH. Talk us through your picks there, Lewis, mate.
Well, I had to go with Newcastle Liverpool defence because of the clean sheet data they had. I always go for Honshaw when I pick Liverpool, so it had to be him. I was close to going for Murphy over Given, but I went for Given in the end because Everton are pretty rubbish away from home. I mean, so are Villa, but Villa do seem to get the odd goal, whereas Everton don't. So I went that route. Hart, 6 and 7 goals in the sim data. Felt I had to go that way. Two guy, I like two guys as a player. I went on him last week. I think you and I, Doug, were the only two that had him last week, I think. So I went for him again. Worth another punt at home. There's going to be a lot of goals in that game, I reckon. Beckham, he didn't do too well in my sims, but he did really well in the other sims. His actuals are good. And I don't like Giggs, so I went for Beckham. Anelka, probably the best sim data I've seen for him since I started doing it. Home to Saints, I thought, have to go for him. And that leaves Jimmy, just like Alex said, there weren't that many great away strikers. So I went for Jimmy. And nicely, I've got two blue strikers in homage to Toto Scalacci, who sadly passed away yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely. I think on Scalacci, I think a lot of us that are maybe kind of getting on a little bit, but still have a little bit of time on our side, kind of that first tournament where he was like the standout mercurial man is like one of my earliest memories of kind of like watching football and watching repeats of football on terrestrial and stuff. So yeah. And then myself went for Martin Hupia Ziga, who I think could be a shout this week at wing back with that long arrow. Zola, who I really like based on some of the clues we've got. Benabia, Shearer, and Ruud van Nistelrooy. But interesting, Lewis, you said about Anelka. I think Anelka could be in a bit of a hole this week, and I might regret not picking him. So on that note, Alex, who's going to be the one player that holes that you regret not picking? The one player that was in the mix for you that you're going to regret not committing to? Who do you reckon that's going to be for you, bud?
Let's have a look.
And while Alex just has a quick look, I'm just going to talk you through what we will have tonight. Is when you're not paying for a premium StreamYard subscription like Daddy Warbucks, Darren, you've got a limited character count on your ticker. So we are just going to put the goal scorers and the assists in there, which should take less characters than all the various scores and all the various different goal scorers and assisters, to try and keep people up to date with the players that have scored rather than the scores, and just rely on the tweets to come through for that bit. Alex, mate, who are you going to regret?
It's got to be David Dunn or two guy, definitely. I mean, one stat I looked at, I counted it up. Tottenham have played 7 games away and let in 19 goals, so nearly 3 goals a game. So you had to have a Blackburn attacker for me this week. I picked York because of the data, but yeah, David Dunn, two guy like you two have, definitely 2 good picks.
Lewis, on it yourself, mate, the one player that you think's going to haul that you're going to regret?
Probably Bernabia. He was in my original team. And then I switched to Anelka after seeing Anelka's data, and I'm still a little bit unsure about having Bernabia. But I think, obviously, given the Meg 30-year-old midfielder is going to get 2 assists as well, that was in the back of my mind when I initially picked him. But I think he'll be the one that will maybe look a bit of a mug.
Yeah, we'll see how that plays out then. We're going to get on to some ownership in a second, but we'll just give some shout outs. Obviously, Darren is here, Tips is here, Ryan Nurse is here, David H making his first stream of the season. Good to have you with us, David. Pep. Was Pep former world number 1? Is that the crack with Pep? Not that he ever tells us, but was he the former number 1 in the world? Good to see you. Good to see you, Pep, mate, and hope you're well. Glassdoor's here. He always comes up with some decent left field picks. And obviously Frenchie is presenting immediately as a little bit more sober than he was last week. And FBL Hoopia is here as well. So we'll get stuck into some ownership, boys. We will have a little look. So we'll start with the goalkeepers. If people in the chat can just let us know that the resolution's all right, you can see it. It's big enough. I'm not kind of cropping anything out. Again, a little bit kind of limited in terms of some of the unpaid features for StreamYard. So chat, if you can just let us know you're happy with that. Alex, I'll come to you first for the goalkeeper. Anything surprising about that? Anything unsurprising? Is it very much template keepers this week?
Not really. I mean, on Discord, we saw most people come out with Given, didn't we, in the last half an hour? So I guess him being at 35 or top is not... Yeah, I feel funny about that Liverpool-Sunderland game. I don't know. Sunderland have let in a lot of goals away from home in this sim, and I fancy Liverpool to actually score more than 1 goal. Picking a Liverpool midfield is too hard. They're all a bunch of, nobodies really. But yeah, I'm funny about that. I feel like Sunderland is going to score on that. I went away from. It's an obvious pick to pick a Liverpool defender, but yeah, I felt funny about that one. But the rest, yeah, makes sense. Murphy, Schmeichel, 25% between the two of them makes sense.
Yeah, and the boys in the chat just confirming that everything looks good there. So I appreciate that feedback, boys. Lewis, we'll come over to you for home defender. Honshaw was the big pick, but again, very much convention template to go with that Liverpool defence this week. We'll come on to Meg in just a moment, but you'd probably think that Meg is definitely forced people's hands there. Any surprises for you in there, Lewis?
Not really. I probably expected Risa to be a bit higher as well, maybe. But yeah, I mean, it was always going to be Honshaw and Hippier who were the top 2 this week, I think. It's a difficult toss-up, that one, because Honshaw is a bit of a man of the match hauler, whereas Hippier is the one who's more likely to get you a goal. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I'm not surprised those 2 are the biggest by a mile, not at all.
Yeah, and we've obviously got our cult hero Labant in there at left back today as well. Pep just saying that he's loading up the automatic scorecard sheet. Did anyone check? Did either of you check it out, lads? The Excel auto scorer thing.
Yeah, that seemed to work okay for me. Seemed to work fine. Yeah.
Yeah, happy days, and do let us know in the chat if you are using it. It took us about 5 days to crack all the formulas, so if Pep's the only person that uses it, then that's been five days well spent. Over onto the away defender, and Alex, I'll come to you, mate. You were pretty comprehensive in backing hard, but also the Discord seemed to be very, very hard heavy as well.
Yeah, that's huge, isn't it? 60%. We haven't seen that What was Henry about 60% once? Maybe I don't think RVN's been.
I think it was 58, 59-ish. So I think it is. Maybe Frenchie will probably tell us. Maybe the highest proportionately owned player of this season, but I'm sure Frenchie will be able to confirm that. Babiaro only on 12%. I think that's probably the only time this season we'll see him on 12.3%, unless there's an injury that he's carrying. We are just approaching 5 minutes from kickoff, so we'll go through this and then we'll go on to Meg. We've got home midfielders, Lewis Mate, we've got Benarbia Kumas, who started to do some bits over the last couple of game weeks. He really is coming to life a little bit, and Carboni is always capable of a haul. But interestingly, Alex said about the Blackburn midfield under Janssen. I know Tips really, really likes that. Anything standing out in that home midfielder ownership?
Not really. I mean, I agree with you about Kumas. I was close to having him, but when I look at the actuals, West Brom have only scored like 3 goals at home so far. I know they're playing Villa, but that kind of put me off with him, to be honest. But,
and you can tell that Frenchie's sober because he's speaking perfect sense. As soon as he's put that comment, no lads, wait until you get higher. I've immediately thought Rude's going to be on 85-90%, isn't he, against Charlton tonight? You'd expect. I haven't seen him yet, but I'm guessing Rude is going to be extortionately owned tonight.
You'd have to see it. I'm not going to spoil anything, but blimey.
What would you, Alex? Have you seen Rude's ownership or not?
I don't know, but
what would you guess it would be?
Now that we know it's above 60, what is it? 70. Well, all we had was Hasselbank and Rude to pick from, right? Who else was there to pick from on the away strikers? All right, 84%. Yeah,
Robbie Keane for some reason continues to get chances in people's starting lineup, and I do not understand it at all. I do not understand that pick.
True loyalty there.
Yeah, Zola. He's what he tells you. I've said it. That's the klaxon. It's like the semen phallus. Highlight of the season so far. That whole Frenchie thing last week was Zola, just absolutely brilliant. We go on to the home forward. So Shearer's quite highly owned there, probably more so than I would have potentially expected. Home forwards did have a lot of choice this week. Lewis, anything kind of surprising about that? Anybody else that you thought might be in the mix?
Not really, but I'm like you. I'm surprised Shearer was so high. His figures really weren't that good in the Sims, to be honest. But yeah. I mean, you got York and you got Cole. They both did really well. I'm surprised Cole's not a little bit higher, given that he scored 4 last week as well.
Yeah.
But if York's got the penalties, then people probably go over him for that. But on my Sims, they got 13 and 12 goals respectively. There's not a lot to pick between them at all.
You do know that if you say Andy Cole 4 times in a mirror, Darren appears behind you crying into a ChampMan sim. Only if you say it 3 times, it's fine. But if you say it 4 times, there we go. You kind of touched on it, Alex. But we're just shy of 3/4. So you know those players, those 12% on Viduka and those 10% on Hasselbank could be absolutely killing it. Could be absolutely killing it if Van Nistelrooy doesn't probably get at least a brace tonight, Alex.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but let's not say anything too quickly. You know what happens.
Well, listen, I could be the jinx tonight. Every time I've backed Van Nistelrooy this season, have you got him? I am, mate. Yeah, every time I've backed him this season, even early doors. That one game week where it said something about he's got new boots on and then he went on to haul. He's never let me down yet, so hopefully it continues. So we'll just do a little bit of Meg before we kick off. We've got a quick 60 seconds. Knowledge is power, they say. Well, I can gaze into the future as I stare at my crystal ball and images appearing through the mist. So we've got 5 beds, which Alex, I think we're deciphering as 5 clean sheets.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. And then 3 home defenders get man of the match, which kind of probably explains the leniency on the Liverpool centre-half pairing. And 1 away team has the most shots on targets this week, and 1 away team doesn't have any. What's your interpretation of that, Alex?
1 away team has the most shots. Are they going to tell us? Are they going to tell us that it's Man United?
Yeah,
going to tell us that it feels like it's going to be somebody else. I'll go Leeds. And Middlesbrough for the one that doesn't take any. And
we are kicked off. We are underway. And Barcelona scout has arrived at ground in London tonight. What do we make of that? Lewis, who is going to be the first goal scorer tonight, mate? 5 or 3 bet?
Hopefully an Elka. Going from a bias there.
Hopefully an Elka. Yeah. And what about yourself, Alex, mate?
Carbone. What about you?
I think Rude's going to get us off to a fly, you know.
But that's
He's gonna get-
Barcelona scout at Charlton, right? It's at Charlton Man United. So we're looking at a Man United player leaving.
Could be Bex.
Is that a Bex? Is that a Bex? Oh, Darren will be wounded if Bex goes. Yeah, that's a good shout. I am going to have to get on the manual refresh tonight, boys. So the Chrome extension or the Microsoft Edge extension didn't like it when I was sharing the screen. So, boys, you've got to. I can't see the StreamYard screen because I've got the chat and the Twitter open. So you've got to tell me if the screen goes blank at any point. Just I won't have eyes on it. So we do have a first chance of the evening. It is Veron who carries the ball forward before clipping the ball in the box for Rude, who gets there first before the keeper who can only head the ball over the bar. He can't believe it. He looks like he might cry. So it could have been Rude, but it's 0-0 after 2 minutes as United come out of the blocks in quick time. So we've got shouts for Anelka first goal, Carboni first goal, and Rude first goal, which looks dead in the water already after that chance. We've got a Stanic first goal in the chat. And I'm wondering, Tips is asking if Shanley is on the spliffs yet. Obviously, the apple juice and spliff shout last week was an interesting take and one that was applauded, I think, by the majority of the chat. Alex, in terms of kind of who's the one player you've backed this season that has really pulled through for you?
It had to be Stanic with the 21-pointer, right? Just for that one game.
Yeah.
What was it? Second or third game of the season? I think it was second or third game of the season. Yeah, that 21-pointer. Yeah, it feels like months ago since we were really talking about Stanic. We moved on to Babayara, didn't we? And we're not really talking about Stanic. I guess when he gets that easy home game, we'll be back on him.
Rooney with a chance, obviously, in this patch, in this update. Rooney does kind of start to kick on a bit, and he's got some key stats in some key areas. Pistoni heads the ball out to Rooney, who bulldozed his way through the Newcastle defence before cracking a shot that goes wide. First goal of the night in the West Midlands. Are we going to West Bromwich? Are we going to Birmingham? Who's it going to be, Lewis?
I think it'll be West Brom. I think some Kumas people are going to get rewarded early.
Early reward.
16% were on Kumas. That was Viduka McPhail, right?
And it is the 12% of owners who are on Mark Viduka. Mark Viduka paying back the faith shown in him for the gamble over Rude, and those 12% of Mark Viduka fans are going to be pretty happy with that, given that Ruud van Nistelrooy has missed his first chance, and Viduka is off the mark with a McPhail assist. Is that a sign of what's to come? Leeds haven't really battered anyone this season, but they're more than capable of, Alex.
I was just thinking McPhail's probably got the most goals and assists for Leeds this season. He seems to be playing more than Bowyer, which I don't remember that happening when I used to play the game. I think that's Viduka's fifth of the season.
Go on, Lewis.
He's quite underrated, McPhail, I think, to be honest. He's got really good, creative midfield stats. Creativity, passing stats, always really high on him.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember off the top of my head what he looks like in 0.68, but he does have, in 0.60, he does have the ability to kind of really, really develop well. Viduka, great start for Leeds as McPhail whips in a corner where Viduka is too strong for Powell and powers his header home off the main road where a defender has already left his mark.
Steve Howie.
Do you think into the book early?
Craig's got him. He was my second favourite home defender.
Ooh.
Do we think that's the crack?
That could mean anything.
And I'm seeing comments come through on my phone in the Discord. Viduka returns, say the boys. Really good start for those that were wanting some sort of differential instead of Rude. And Viduka has not made them regret it. Eric Onstad, apologies for the pronunciation if it's not right, mate. If the defender is Jensen, I puke as we wait to see what that is going to be. It is a goal and it's Sunji High. Wow. And Darren will be absolutely buzzing. He has got Sunji High in his team and he has taken a punt on him for the first couple of weeks. And I think that's his first big return. Let me just confirm that Darren has him. So Darren has got Dudek, Sunji, High, Ian Hart, McInnes, Zola, Shearer, and Rude. What a big goal that is for differential, and Kevin Horlock there with the assist.
With the assist.
It's Darren's
Yeah,
week. He needs it to be fair to him. We need to let him have at least 1 week, right?
He said to me, if you need to see me team on stream, here it is. He said, but don't mention it, because anytime it does get mentioned on stream, I'm absolutely shite. So that is a really good start for Darren. Nihal Kulkarni says he removed Jihai to Labant. I was baited. And he's in your head, mate. City lead, and Darren will be happy. Even Frenchie is referencing the fanboyism of Sunji High. Tiato is tackled by Warhorse. Horlock picks up the ball before delivering the ball back to post, where Sunji High is there to head it home. After Craven Cottage, there's lots of quality strikers on show, but which one has opened the scoring? Lewis, what we saying?
Oh, come on, Jimmy. Come on, Jimmy.
It's not going to be Zenden, surely. He's not a quality striker, so it can't be Zenden who's playing up top. That narrows it down a bit.
Yeah.
We've got Sava and Steve Marley, who's also, so it must be surely one of two.
Yeah. What's your kind of thoughts on Fulham in this save, Alex? Because for me, they don't return anywhere near enough goals as they perhaps should.
Yeah, I think in the first couple of games they really. Well, Sava started like a rocket, didn't he? I think. Oh, there he is again.
Oh, it is.
There we go. It is Facundo Sava, and I think he was only 1% owned, if I'm correct. I can't remember who it was. I think someone in the Discord had chipped in that he was only 1% owned. In fact, let's just have a little look at the spreadsheet.
1% means 2 people, right?
Yeah, about 2 people.
No, I suppose if it was 0.4%, they'd have to round it up to 1%, wouldn't they? Anyway, so it could just be one person.
Yeah, I'm sure Frenchie will be able to confirm, because he's not on the on the pie chart. Sorry, and that is a Chelsea clean sheet wipeout. That is big for the Babioro and Stanic owners after 7 minutes, and that's a great shout from Tips. John Collins is your 2 assist player then. That is a good spot early doors, and a first return of the night for Pep. But I think he's talking about the first return being the clean sheet wipeout for Chelsea. Let's see if we've got comms of the goal just yet. We have. Sava is the man. Collins picks up a loose ball and plays it into Sava. Easily beats Terry before slotting past Cudicini. Explorador no impresionado. That's GCSE Spanish, that. We are going to Ewood Park for another quality pick opening the deadlock. So that fixture is Blackburn and Spurs. Is that right?
Spurs, yeah.
A quality pick. What does he mean by a quality pick?
Should be a lot of goals in this game, I reckon. Blackburn,
yeah, they both can leak some.
Yeah.
And is Souness under pressure, Lewis? Did you see the tweet? Am I right in thinking there was a tweet about Souness being under pressure last week?
It was. I saw it, yeah. I think there was 2, isn't there? There was Souness and Graham Taylor as well. Or did I dream? Or did I dream Graham Taylor?
Yeah,
as you do.
And a lot of goals early doors. There wasn't any kind of tweets promising an entertaining game week, but it is. Oh, there he is.
Oh,
Curse of the
Robbie.
Curse of the streamer. I said that he was being given far too much faith by the ChampMan7 loyal, and he does return that with a goal. After 7 minutes. We're only 7 minutes in, and we do have some good scores. So just while we wait for that to update, let me just update the goals and assists. So who have we got goals from so far? We've got goals from Sava. We've got goals from Robbie Keane. We've got goals from Sunji High. And who else have we got? Is that all we've got goals from? Am I right in thinking?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And we've got assists from Collins. We've got
Viduka. Viduka got a goal.
Yeah.
Spot on. This might be a bit difficult to keep up with during the night, so I'll probably have to have your help, boys. Viduka. We've got Sunji High, Collins assist, Redknapp assist, McPhail assist, and we have Kevin Horlock. Is that right?
Yeah.
4 goals, 4 assists. Lovely. And let's show that for the viewing public. Hopefully that is bang on. Let's see if we've got any live commentary of that goal from Robbie Keane. Is Robbie Keane coming good? Ziege throws the ball down the line where Redknapp fires in a low cross, and Keane is all alone to flick the ball past Friedel's outstretched hand. Anyone hungry for goals at Anfield? We said it could be a little bit of a dead rubber, but if either of those two teams gets on a roll, they absolutely do have the capability to score a couple. Let's just catch up on the chat. Tips has just done the Robbie Keane celebration naked in the streets. Keane and Labant followers rejoice. Proper first return of the night from Pep, and he whacks it into the spreadsheet. As we have a little look what's going on down at Anfield. It's Paddy Berger, and it's a Sammy Hyypiä assist, which is pretty big for those that went one way and not the other over the Hyypiä Honcho split. Initial reaction on that, Lewis?
Oh dear, it's not Honcho.
It's not Honcho. I do like it when people pop up with the that's not whoever they've backed. I do really like that. I laugh every time. So we've got a goal, we've got an assist for Hyypiä, and we've got a goal for Paddy Berger. Bizarrely, Paddy Berger was the player I used to be in the playground, which sounds really, really weird. But he just used to score corkers all the time.
He did, yeah.
Never scored shit goals. Just always scored belters, and yeah, I think that's probably why. No comms just yet. Alex, you kind of open analysis of the first 7 minutes.
Well, I was wrong about Liverpool. Well, I said that they were going to score goals. I think they're going to score more than one goal. But yeah, I think the Hyypiä Honcho pick was an obvious one. Should have gone for one of them.
Eric is in there again with another kind of comment that's really on the nose. He says some flips really going the wrong way early doors. It does feel like, you know, a lot of the 50-50 decisions are going one way and not the other. Comes for the goal is that Berger has the goal. Bruno Giroud, the next Zidane, they famously said, flights in a corner where Hyypiä beats Bab to head the ball down for Berger. He was unmarked, and of course he smashes the ball in on his wand of a left foot. Liverpool 1, Sunderland 0. 7 minutes played. James O'Mahony is off to a flyer. Keane goal and Hyypiä assist. So far, so good. He'll be looking at just north of probably 10 points by the time that settles. Lewis, in terms of Sunderland, seem to start the sim really, really well. But what's your kind of take on them? They've struggled over the last couple of game weeks.
They have, and in my sim data, they had 0 shots on target 6 times out of 20.
Right. Okay.
Which is a lot, and that's why I was pretty much sold on going for Liverpool defender. Just those stats. But it's weird. I think I was on Kevin Phillips either last week or the week before, and he had no shots at all. So I think just avoid them away from home. I think they just seem to be a bit meh.
Yeah.
Away from home.
I think that is absolutely waterproof logic. That, to be fair, mate, I like the sound of that. We do have chances at Ewood. So Dunn, who has been tipped by a few, as the ball opens space and cracks it, but Sullivan makes a big save. Keane again is involved as he tees up Rebrov, who tries his luck, but it narrowly goes wide as we remain Blackburn 0, Tottenham 1. And no further comms just yet. I'll just make it known, boys, that if I do dive off just literally out the chair, it's probably because I've pissed myself laughing and I've woke up the Ben again. So if that does happen, Lewis and Alex, you'll have to just do a bit of fill. I'm confident it'll not be the case because we haven't got a pissed Frenchie to deal with. But just if that is the case, I'll need you to just give a bit of padding and a bit of filler, please, boys, if that's all right.
Yeah, cool.
No worries, mate. No worries.
Oh, there we go. You called it. I think, Alex, you said that there was going to be you said that there was going to be a Steve Howie leaving a mark early doors. He goes through pars and picks himself up an early yellow card, and that little ellipsis afterwards always just kind of makes you worry, doesn't it? We are going back to St Andrews for a second goal. Who's it going to be, Alex?
What's that? Birmingham Leeds, right? Well, let's hope in heart, but I don't know. Maybe another Viduka goal. What do you think?
Yeah, I as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of people hoping Hart. I think they've got the Hart prayer mats out, to be honest, boys. As we go, and there's Damian Johnson. Tipped him last week.
I was thinking you were going to pick him again. I'm pleased you didn't let us down, and you still picked a wing back in Ziege. But I thought you'll be on Birmingham wing backs again.
Yeah, he was in there until probably about, I'd say maybe about an hour before kickoff. I think I just didn't like the look of Viduka against that Birmingham defence. But wing backs, mate, if I get 99 things wrong, I get one thing right, and it'll be that wing backs will always do well in this sim. And there's a lot of heartbreak, pardon the pun. As Darren's just got in there just after us. Ryan Nurse says, "You'd think I'd have learned about picking hot by now. You'd think I'd have learned." And that's a clean sheet wipeout for me in terms of Martin in goal, which isn't great. No comms just yet for the goal.
I mean, it
You
doesn't
want
make a big
Leeds?
difference, right? What, 17-18% are on Chelsea, 60% on Hart, so nearly 3/4. It's not going to hurt most people. Have you guys ever picked 2 players in one game? So 2 players on, would you always pick 7 players from 7 games?
Lewis?
Always, right?
I think a couple of weeks ago I had 2 people from the same game, but only maybe once.
It just minimises your scoring potential, right? If you do it that way. But
yeah, it also depends on the goals as well, though. Like if you look at Blackburn v Spurs, they both got ridiculous XG. If there's going to be a game where you go for 2 maybe attackers from the same game, it's one like that. But generally, I don't like doing that.
No. You want to get the excitement from watching out for 7 games as well, rather than 6. That's the other thing.
Agree with all of that. We have a good response from Birmingham. Damien Johnson skins Radaby. Of course he does. He's an FR playing at DMR. Firing a shot that Martin makes. A good save, but can only push the ball into danger. He spilled it, and Hughes is free to slot home. Birmingham 1, Leeds 1. And we do have the action coming in thick and fast. We've got Joe Cole going close. Thomas Repka carried the ball forward. Of course, he's famous for his marauding forward runs with the ball. Finds Cole free in the area, playing in that 3 MC position with no arrows this week, who takes a touch, fires it straight towards goal, and Krausen does well, and Heog cleans up. Being a tight game so far, I think that could be low score on that one tonight. West Ham 0, Middlesbrough 0. Your thoughts on Borough, Alex? They seem to kind of divide opinion. Either people think they're going to be brilliant, or people think they're going to be terrible.
Well, the data this week showed that Johnston was going to have a big week. He was close he was definitely on my short list. It's just a weird game, isn't it? I like this new West Ham. Have they got a manager yet, or does that not happen?
It's Clemente, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that was it. Yeah,
he's quite defensive.
Okay. So yeah, it didn't feel like a game to touch this week, did it? Joe Cole was the other pick, but it just didn't feel like a game to pick. No.
We do have comms coming in thick and fast now. Bishkan goes close. Shearer delivers another corner. Bishkan beats Bab in the air, but Sorensen tips it over. Shearer again lifts the ball in, and Sunderland can't handle Bishkan. But Sorensen saves again. Liverpool well on top. Is Bruno Shearer going to live up to his next Zidane hype for the first time in about 25 years tonight? But Sunderland up against it and struggling there by the looks of the comms, Lewis.
Yeah, I think Sunderland can't handle Bishkan kind of sums up their night's going to be. I think by the looks of it.
Yeah, if Big Ego is pulling strings, then you know you're in for it, don't you? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, is he playing MC this game week? Is he? Bishkan?
He is. I had to actually check if he was above 30 years old, but he's something like 25, 26, I think.
Yeah, really young. Really young, and gets very, very, very good as well. We do have an update from the Hawthorns. West Brom have been on top, and Villa have Mark Poom to thank. Andy Johnson has a shot at Poom tipped around the post, and Kumas has just had a free kick, superbly saved. We have a second goal at Craven Cottage. Do I just need to update any goal scorers? Yes, Damien Johnson. Hughes and Johnson, don't I? Let's just see if that goal comes through first of all. Hasn't come through just yet, so we will just update the ticker. So we've got a goal from Hughes and Damien Johnson.
I'm hoping this is Hasselbank. I've got nothing so far.
Yeah, I've just got the Hoopier assist. Slow start, but I think I got off to a flyer 2 game weeks ago and then did nothing in the second half. I think it was last week, actually. It was on 30 points by half time and then did nothing in the second half.
I've had a week where it was the flip side to that. I had pretty much nothing at half time, and then the second half it started raining on me.
Oh wow!
And there is a Piaro return for the high percentage of people that were on him, and it's a goal assist by Jody Morris. He's fast becoming a must-have in this kind of version. Lewis, isn't he?
He is. I mean, I didn't fancy him purely because I thought Fulham might knock 3 in and give him those minus points. But I think I'm going to have to just ignore that from now on, just go with him every time.
Yeah,
just, machine.
He's forcing people's hands week on week, isn't he?
He is.
And there's a lot of people that went for that 50-50 split between him and Stanic. But yeah, he's
the one thing
Stephen
I will
Hamilton.
say about Babayaro, though, he absolutely smashed it in my Sims last week. He got like 2 goals and 10 assists and got nothing in the actual game. And then this week, he's done absolutely nothing in my Sims and popped up with a goal.
And the comms back that up. Babayaro is having some season. I'd love to know what he's. If we could get a screenshot of him, Frenchie, in terms of his player stats, and then underneath where it says goals, assists, and man of the match. It's put from Boamorte as he loses the ball in a bad area, and Morris takes the ball off him and plays the ball across the goal where Babayaro is charging in to level things up. Another left back involved. Is this our Ian Hart return for the millions and millions of loyal? What would you call Hart fans? Loyal Heartbreakers? Loyal Hart? I don't know. Anyway, has he got an arrow tonight, Alex? He's got the arrow tonight, hasn't he?
They've always got an arrow. I think Chelsea, no matter what, always when they're away.
I just don't know why they haven't got the wingers on arrows. If Leeds had the flat four with the wingers with arrows, I'd pick Leeds midfielders far more.
Especially given that they're, Kuhl and Barnby, who are both really good anyway.
Yeah. AMLCs and AMRCs, and well, Barnby, I think, is an AMRLRC, isn't he? Hart goes close. Vickers heads the ball on, but is intercepted by Hart, who drives forward and hits a thunderbolt, but hits it straight to Vesson. We have an opener at Upton Park.
They're going to torture us with Hart all night, aren't they? It's just don't read it. If you see Hart, just don't read it, mate. Just leave it out. Just jump to the next
yeah. I think the tweet deck will just explode if Hart ever returns a haul. Do you know what I mean? I think if it ever returns a haul, I think they're quite sycophantic. They take a lot of pleasure in Hart doing nothing, don't they? Pep saying Labant plays on the left there. That is a really good shout. As we wait to see what happens at Upton Park. Who have they got playing up top this week? Is it Canute and Di Canio with side arrows?
Yeah.
Canute, who of course returned decent last week, and could do so again. Just have a little look and see if it's come through yet. It is Alan Boksic, the man who always scores against human players on the game, and it's a Dean Windus with a Middlesbrough. We spoke, Alex, about whether Middlesbrough were fancied or unfancied, and they're doing the business there.
I reckon that's Windus. That was my shout on the 30-year-old, person above 30 with 2 assists. That could be it, Dean Windus.
He's having a good season, Windus, isn't he, on this game?
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
he is.
Did he ever play centre mid?
I don't think so.
I think he's one of those players that probably played everywhere. To be honest, mate, a bit of a.
I remember seeing him on the wing for Bradford. I mean, he played up top most of the time, but I don't remember him centre mid.
And Tips and Pep saying Labant clean sheet wipeout, which. What was his ownership again? It's Alex, and that's Alan Boksic, and he does it. It's a lovely move from Borough, who sees George Boateng give the ball to Windus out wide, cuts him before curling in the cross, where Boksic is too powerful for Repka and heads the ball into the corner. We have an opener at the Valley. Is that United Charlton?
Yeah,
it is.
Who's it going to be? Can you imagine if this is a Charlton goal? Can you imagine the rage in the chat if this is Charlton? If this is Charlton going 1-0 up.
Please be Beckham. Please give me something.
Please don't be Giggs.
This is where Frenchie
Giggs as well.
This is where Frenchie's a much better man than me, because I would just ignore what came out in the actual gameplay and just do the tweets that would upset the most people. I would have the deadline at like 12 o'clock on the game day, and then write me tweets to sabotage as many people as I possibly could before the stream went live, just to make people pure rage. But that's why he does what he does, and why I sit here and chat nonsense for 2.5 hours. Who's your money on to get this goal, Alex?
I have no idea, mate. It's going to be RVN, isn't it?
There we
Roy
go.
Keane. Okay.
A lot
Keane.
of people were tipping Roy Keane as the 30-year-old midfielder, weren't they? There's a couple of messages pinging off where people have thought maybe it was a little bit too obvious, and Frenchie was very happy with the quality of the tweets that he was putting with the gifs. He said earlier on to make sure he checks the gifs out, and you can see why. That's a corker. Lewis, your thoughts on Roy Keane opening the score in there, mate?
My cat out my face first. He's surprisingly done quite well this season so far, Roy Keane. He's not someone that you'd initially think to pick, but he's had a few goals and assists now, hasn't he, this season? So I know a few people picked him because they might... Bloody cat, get out my face. Sorry about that. I know a few people picked him because they felt that he might be the Meg pick this week, but he might even be better than that this week. He might get a goal and an assist and be better than that.
Yeah, Moyd is having an absolute mare. He says he should have stuck with Roy Keane and Viduka, and he subbed them both out, and he's absolutely sick as a cat. My eyes, the goal is better than the view you just saw. Charlton defend the ball well again, but as Rufus heads the ball away, Keane picks it up 25 yards out, takes a touch and hits a pile driver that Keeley had no chance with. Back to Anfield for a second goal. Are we going to see a Hoopia Hall? It's not come through just yet, but we'll await it. Any beers tonight, lads? Are you on the beers, or are you just keeping it straight tonight?
I've got a cup of tea, mate.
Nice. What yourself, Alex?
You got to try this Vocation Crush Hour. You get it as the Tesco. It's unbelievable.
What is it like? Is it like a tropical kind of beer? It sounds like a tropical kind of pale ale or something.
A slightly fruity IPA.
Happy
Danny
birthday!
Murphy. What?
Say that again.
Danny Murphy. I was on him last week.
Super Danny Murphy.
Never came.
Super Danny Murphy, and a rare assist from El Hadji Diouf, doing in a game week what he didn't do in about 5 years of being at Liverpool FC. It is Liverpool 2-0, and Alex, I think you said that Liverpool could go one or two ways tonight, and it looks as though they're in for a good night, are the Reds?
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Who got the assists? I was happy, wasn't it? Yeah, Berger, yeah, 4 different players altogether scoring. You just don't know who to pick attacking wise from Liverpool. It's proper random with that team, isn't it? You just don't know. It's better just if you're going to pick Liverpool, just go with the defence.
Yeah, it's a poor midfield, isn't it? But they seem to do all right. They do much better than I would expect them to do with that midfield, to be totally honest with you. As you've got a couple of comments about the pussy on the stream, mate. I think probably the first time
she always does this. Every time I have a meeting or something online, she runs in the room and starts jumping around in front of me, don't you, mate? Yeah.
It's a deserved goal. El Hadji Diouf is fouled on the edge of the box. Paddy Berger and Murphy stand over the ball, but Murphy lifts the ball over the wall, and Sorensen cannot do anything about it this time. Liverpool have been absolutely dominant so far and find themselves 2-0 up after 27 minutes. So let's just have a little quick review of who we've got. So we've got goals from Danny Murphy, Robbie Keane, Alan Boksic, Babiaro, Sava, Roy Keane and Robbie Keane, Sunji Hai, Viduka Berger and Hughes, and assists from Collins, Redknapp, McPhail, Horlock, Hoopia, Johnson, Morris, Windass and Diouf. I think the one thing sticking out for me there, Lewis, is those assisters are not regular assisters. They're not expected assisters. We've not got many kind of AMCs in there. We've not got many wing backs in there, but Damien Johnson, to be honest. Any thoughts on that?
Not really. The one thing I will say about the Liverpool game is for people that have Honcho, don't worry too much that Hippie has got an assist, because in one of my sims, Liverpool scored 4 goals. 3 of those goals came from 3 different defenders, and Honcho didn't score, and he got man of the match still.
It's a chance for Newcastle, but not for Shearer. Is that a little teaser? Dyer, of course, playing MC with that little Dyer. Garrow makes a hell of a difference, breaking forward and picking out Carl Court in the area, who was on a hot run a couple of weeks back, but the striker is denied by a brilliant Richard Wright save. Newcastle are going through the gears. That sounds a little bit ominous, that they might just be wanting to try and kick on. Newcastle 0, Everton 0. Probably surprising that Everton have held out for 30 minutes there, Alex.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, going through the gears sounds like they're going to get 1 or 2 Newcastle. Going back to that man of the matches, I did think that, Ray, that, you know, it could be like 1-0 to one team and the defender from the other team gets an 8. It's a boring match. And the defender on the other side gets an 8 and gets man of the match and doesn't necessarily get a clean sheet.
Yeah, with a high proportion of key tackles or key headers or something like that. Yeah. We do have a response from West Ham to go and goal behind. Joe Cole doing bits from that three MCs position. Goes past the challenger Southgate before picking out Sinclair in the area, who has a shot for Crouchton. Does well to hold onto the ball. We're back to Craven Cottage. Have United got a second? We're yet to find out that yet, but we would think probably going to be a second United goal, Lewis.
What, Craven? Isn't that Fulham Chelsea?
Oh, sorry, Craven Cottage is Chelsea, isn't it? Yeah, can Chelsea pull it back, do you reckon?
You're gonna be sick of hearing me say this, but
yes, mate.
Oh, yes, it's Jimmy.
There we go. It's a double return for the two co-coms as Alex and Lewis kind of mutually celebrate that. We have a Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank goal with a Frank Lampard assist as Chelsea pull away and pull ahead after 31 minutes. I'm not keeping track on your returns live, boys, but did you need that badly, Lewis?
That's the only return I've had so far.
Well, yeah, that's our first return.
No wonder you celebrated it with such a plum.
Well, I'm just looking at the number one in the world on Discord. He announced his team about quarter of an hour ago. Given Hart, Honsho, Zola, Benabia, Arvia, and York. So we're beating him so far. So that's all that matters, right? Catching up with number one in the world.
Yeah, and it's a long bit of catching up that we've got to do, mate. They're very, very far ahead. Steve Crowsden, Dimbles in the chat. How you doing, Dims, mate? Good to see you, bud. Thanks for dropping in. Pepsi and Honsho was the only one defending, whilst the other ones were scoring. Probably had a lot of key tackles potentially.
Yeah, he did.
Excellent. And Eric Onstad just saying it's a bit boring. The defences are on top, 3 clean sheet but no returns. And then he follows that up with a Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank return celebration, and obviously. With the greatest of respect, Ramanathan Nilakantan. Apologies if I've just butchered your name there, mate. He is absolutely on a Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank. And I think he's also on a Yamal return. Has Lamine Yamal scored for Barcelona despite them being down to 10 men? He has indeed. Multiple eyes on multiple streams is Ramanathan. And let's see if we've got some comms of that Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank goal. We have indeed. Chelsea have turned it around. Morris outjumped Collins in midfield. Morris has been at the centre of everything for Chelsea here tonight. The ball is then taken forward by Lampard, who plays the ball into the box, where Hasselbank is at the near post to sweep the ball home. Referees involved at the Valley. Big decision to make. Is this a penalty?
Okay.
Yellow for the main man. Wow. Van Nistelrooy is in a battle and goes a little too far as he catches Rufus with an accidental elbow. Referee is lenient as he brandishes the yellow card. Second goal at an open Ewood Park, and we've got no further goals in United. Who's getting that second goal at Ewood, do you reckon? Third goal, rather.
Please be
two. Is it 2-0 to Spurs?
Let me just check if Spurs got 2. No, it's just the one, isn't it? Robbie Keane. Yeah, Robbie Keane with a Jamie Redknapp assist.
Open game, so open game. It just sounds like it's going to be Blackburn, isn't it?
Yeah, I think. Did you say it at the start of the stream, Alex, that you felt both kind of teams were going to concede tonight? Oh no!
Oh wow!
Oh. Yeah. The game is. I'm pretty convinced the game is sentient. It does have a really good habit of just popping up whenever you write a player off and just goes, nothing. Let me just update that. Robbie Keane brace. That is a good return for most people, and Big Teddy gets the assist. Lewis, over to you, mate. What are you making of that?
Just fair play, people that stuck with him. Basically, I mean, I've picked him once. He didn't do well, and I've sort of ditched him. I mean, I know his season-long data on average is very good. So I think at some point he was going to start knocking a few in, but I didn't really want to keep chancing on him, basically. So to all those that stuck with him, fair play. You've paid your faith.
Shout out to Sheringham as well, right? He's got a bunch of goals and assists this season.
He has. I think he's their highest returning player.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
He will
that's
be.
a great
isn't it?
spot.
Yeah.
That's a great
Fine
spot.
club with it, yeah.
Robbie Keane is at the double. Sheringham plays the ball to Keane and slaloms. Look at Frenchie using those descriptors there. Slaloms his way past challenges with two guy unable to stop the Irishman, who was through and hits a low pass Friedel. Brilliance from Keane. He's doing his cartwheels, and I think we're going to be onto a hat trick for Robbie Keane there tonight. I think if the game's given him a brace in the first half, then it's probably going to go one way. We have a goal at St James's. Who's got the opener? We need a Shearer. Well, I need a Shearer return here, I think. What am I on? Just the Hoopier assist, I think. He's teasing us. He's waiting. He's waiting.
Hopefully not Everton. I can see it being Dyer. It looks like a reasonably good game for him this week.
There we go.
Hey, there you go.
Diagonal arrow from MC. I've tipped that a fair few times, but unfortunately haven't went with it this week, or did, but for Bernabia. It is Kieran Dyer with an assist from Griffin as Newcastle take hold. We said earlier on in the core comms that it just felt as though they were getting a grip on it. Ramanathan and Darren seem to be alluding to the fact that Sheringham might be the 2 assist man. He's got the 1. But could he be? Yeah. Could he be the 2 assist man? He looks nailed on for it now, doesn't he, Lewis?
They're looking pretty strong tonight, those Spurs boys, aren't they?
Yeah. Which I think. Would you say it's fair to say they've been due a performance like that, where they've kind of just clinical, taken challenge?
Quite a lot, haven't they? Especially away from home, they've really underperformed this season.
Yeah, they beat West Ham 6-1, 6-0 at home.
Yeah, they smashed it at home, like knocked loads of goals in, but I think they scored like 3 away goals prior to tonight, or maybe 4.
And let in, what was it, 19?
Almost 20, yeah.
It is Kieran Dyer that gives Newcastle the lead. Griffin has been impressive, and he brings the ball down the line before standing the ball up, where Dyer gets the ball first, known for his headers, and plants his header into the back of the net. It's a fully deserved lead for Newcastle, and Kieran Dyer again shows the difference between playing him at MC with that Diag and playing him with that stupid Diag arrow on that MR. Interestingly about Tottenham, just bringing it back, I think if I was to pick any of the formations to play as a competitive champ formation, that formation that Tottenham play would have been the one I'd picked. The wing backs with the stacked AMCs and the 1 striker up top, I think, really does hold value.
What do you think about the difference between the middle AMC and the left-hand AMC, like Keane and Sheringham? We thought, but it turns out that Keane's all right. It seems to be all right on that left AMC position, it looks like now.
Yeah, it does, and I think it depends on. I think first of all, it depends on the quality of the centre halves, because ultimately, if you're playing them with arrows, you need centre halves that are good at off the ball marking, because they've ultimately got to follow those arrows. So if you get centre halves that are good, like say Hoopiers, you kind of arrows on the game, those sorts of players, Rio Ferdinand, they can just kill those AMCs quite easily. But if you get the centre halves that Blackburn are playing, then you've probably got more of a chance. We've got Man City, who are well on top. And Nelka and Vuso are causing havoc, but this time it's your man Carboni. Receives the ball and goes past Svensson before firing a curling effort that Niemi does superbly to keep out. Probably the least surprising line of commentary tonight is that Southampton are not offering much so far.
So bad away from home, aren't they, Southampton, on this?
Absolutely terrible. Let's get that Dyer goal put in. And was it Griffin with the assist, boys?
It was Griffin, yeah.
Craig's favourite defender. Dyer's only 3% owned. So there's a huge differential.
I had him last week, Dyer.
There weren't many home mid pick was. Oh, here he is again.
Oh, we got a goal out of nowhere there. We got a goal out of nowhere there. Stephen McPhail is showing himself to be the absolute pick of the bunch in terms of the Leeds midfield. It isn't Harry Kewell and it isn't Bombi. It's Stephen McPhail with an assist for Danny Mills, and Leeds pull themselves back ahead. I'm dying for somebody to pop up in the chat and say they were on McPhail. Dying.
I can tell you that I had him on my pad.
Right.
And I scribbled him out and put Beckham. So yeah, well done, Lewis.
I mean, look, I don't think there's anybody in the world that would begrudge you would say that wasn't the right thing to do, but
Yeah.
the data says otherwise. Leeds have been the better team and now get their noses back in front. Carruthers with some poor play as Mills dispossesses him. Mills brings the ball forward before pulling the ball back, where McPhail fires the ball into the net and he is punished. Birmingham 1, Leeds 2. I think what we might do for half time today, lads, because we're nearing that, what do we reckon about pulling Champ up, getting on 0.68 and maybe having a look at some of the players stat-wise, obviously as players that are performing tonight? I don't know. I think it's always a bit of a... Darren always has a bit of a tough give, kind of like filling it for 15 minutes at half time. So maybe we can do that.
I was going to ask you both about your history of ChampMan, like when you started, why you started, how often you were playing through your teenage years. Did it mean you didn't go out as often with your mates? What all of that sort of stuff.
That sounds good. That sounds better than clicking on some imaginary players. Shall we say
We
that?
can do that as well. We can make
Lewis,
7
do you reckon?
minutes and 8 minutes. That's fine.
Do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't got Champ on this because it's my work laptop, so I can't load up any players on this computer anyway.
Yeah, I was just going to load them up on here and just click through them on screen, but that kind of like historic champ chat sounds very, very like nostalgic and indulgent. West Brom are on top. They've been pushing all half, and this time it's the informed Clement. Tips again was on him last week and picked them up. Roberts wins a free kick and Clement steps up, but Poom makes a big save. We have an injury at St James's Park. Oh dear, this is going to be Big Al, isn't it?
It's going to be Shearer again, isn't it?
It's going to be Shearer, isn't it?
He's got that knee injury hangover on this, isn't he?
Yeah,
that's
why he's getting 3 or 4 goals in your Sims, because he's just injured every fucking 16 every game.
Well, there's actually 2 Sims out of the 20. Now, I actually simmed the Arsenal Bolton game this week as well, so they have to do it again next week. But in two of the 20 Sims, Shearer scored like 4 goals for Arsenal.
Sorry, mate. That was us.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
Yeah, there was a lot. Dabby's ass seemed to really pick up some momentum in the kind of predictions and in the Discord he was being tipped. I've seen a couple of WhatsApps flying around that he was being tipped. But that is a big injury. He's gone down. He's had to hobble off the field to an ovation. Sorry, Alex. There we go. Quinn has replaced him. Drama involving the referee at Main Road. So we're going back to Man City, and that sounds like a penalty not given, maybe.
Yeah,
it would be on the pens and though,
because that's a brave pick to go for him. That's a shame, that is. He got quite a few goals in my Sims as well.
He got 4 goals in your Sims, and I saw that he got 1 goal somewhere else in another game. So he must have been transferred somewhere else.
Yeah, where was it? He went to.
It was I don't know. Was it the Fulham Chelsea? No, I don't know.
Tell you what, half time.
We have a penalty. Sorry to interrupt. We have a penalty at Man City. Benarbia is coming to meet the cross, but given a slight nudge by Bridge and throws himself to the floor. Harsh on Bridge, but Man City have a spot kick. We have plenty of takers on the field, so this is going to be probably one of Carboni, Benarbia, or Anelka, isn't it? It's got to be.
Not Howie.
It's going to be Benarbia. Just to rub it in my face. You watch.
I was going to pick either Dabizas or Howie. Within a minute, one of them's my player's going to come off and he's going to score a penalty.
Yeah, just picking up some comments in the chat while we wait for that penalty to come through. We've got Mahoney, funnily enough, saying that the Irish lads are on fire. I wonder what the connection there is. And then Eric saying when he starts, McPhail often gets something. Looked at him, but Sim's not great. I really, really do like that. There seems to be, it is Howie, but Benarbia does get the assist. Howie is the designated taker and makes no mistake from the spot by smashing the ball straight down the middle. One more chance somewhere before half time. I really, really do like, and I'll get your thoughts on this, boys, but I love the kind of multi-layered element of selection we've got now. We've obviously got like your champ gut. We've got, Lewis's sim data, Alex's sim data, Tips's sim data, the stream, the comments, and then Meg. I think just adds lots of different layers. What do you reckon?
Yeah, it's going well. Yeah, I like the different. Yeah, we've got lots to look at, haven't we? So it keeps us busy during the week, plays with our minds a bit, stresses us out. We like a bit of all of that.
Especially the Meg stuff. I think it's really funny. It's like that's exactly the kind of way I'd try and troll people if I was going to do it. People get the team set, and then Meg comes in and they spin the whole team based on that.
And to be fair to like Frenchie and the boys running it behind the scenes, like, in fairness to them, they've got to have something that keeps them entertained. Do you know what I mean?
Course,
so if baiting us a little bit, like Frenchie knows, I've only probably spoken to him for the last 3-4 weeks. Never met him before in my life, but he's in my head every week. Like absolutely boxing my head off every week. Like my missus just wondering why I'm getting angry at this person I've never met before, who's dressed up as Mystic Meg on a fake Twitter account. You know what I mean? It's embarrassing, really. Blackburn ending the half strong. It is David Dunn who clips the ball into Bjorneby, who heads the ball down, but York crashes his effort into the side netting. Moments later, York knocks the ball down. But Sullivan makes a big stop. We do probably have half times there, I would imagine. 45+2.
That is absolutely sickening how Dabby's ass has come off and how he's got a penalty. I feel sick about that, honestly.
Yeah, that's it. We were talking about those flip-flops, weren't we? We were talking about those flip-flops, and that is definitely one of those that that feels as though it's went against you there, mate, tonight. So let's just review while we wait for that half-time refresh to come through. We've got goals from Howie, McPhail, Dyer, Jimmy Floyd, Hasselbank, Danny Murphy, Robbie Keane and Roy Keane. Robbie Keane with the brace, Alan Boxic, Babioro, Sava, and Sunji High, Viduka, Berger and Hughes. Assists from John Collins, Jamie Redknapp, McPhail, who was on fire tonight. He's going to get a haul, isn't he? Horlock, Hupia, Johnson, Morris, Windastuf, Fat Frank Lampard, Sheringham, Griffin and Mills, as we hopefully get some half-time classifieds. We do indeed. Go get yourself another drink and we'll be back at 9 p.m. A quick roundup of the scores. So your classifieds at half-time are Birmingham 1, Leeds 2 goals in the first half. Blackburn 0, Tottenham 2, clean sheet for Tottenham intact. Charlton 0, Man United 1, clean sheet for anybody on United who went with United defenders. Probably low level pick that this week, to be fair. Fulham 1, Chelsea 2, Babioro and Stanic double clean sheet wipeout, but none of the kind of key players other than Jimmy Floyd, Hasselbank up top really returning for Chelsea there. Liverpool look on top and look very, very strong. 2-0 against Sunderland, clean sheet for anybody on one of those Hipia Honshaw high volume ownerships, as Lewis pops a blood vessel with that sneeze by the sounds of it. Or was that Alex? I don't know. Man City 2.
Let me be.
Man City 2, Southampton 0. Barnabia looks a little bit of a pick with a clean sheet and an assist in that first half. As Southampton offer nothing. Newcastle 1, Everton 0. Clean sheets all round for the Newcastle midfield and defence. Everton offering very little. I don't even think we saw a shred of commentary for the Everton team. Jack Brokenshire, it's not bad enough being a blue in real life, you're a blue in this as well. West Brom and Aston Villa is a 0-0 stalemate. Clements returning a clean sheet there again, and West Ham find themselves behind at home to Middlesbrough, which is probably a little bit against the grain, but we are not sure. Let's just see what the chat is saying. We've got Peter Cotter just jumping into the chat there for the first time. Evening, Pete, mate. I hope you're well. Eric, who's been really active tonight. Appreciate you being with us, Eric. 3 clean sheets and Jimmy Floyd. Okay. Midfielder show up second half, and that will be him good. Mark Downey, who was fuming with the early data coming out. Yeah, and he's got an early shout for that home man of the match. Could be Sammy Hupia, could be Griffin, or could be Sunji High. Pep saying, have Man United had a shot on target yet tonight? Just saying. And Rooney had a chance. Yeah, Rooney did have a chance. That's it. Cling on to the hope, Jack. It's the hope that kills you, mate. Rooney had a chance early doors. It's character building being an Evertonian, he says. And 11 seems extremely low. So lads, let's just do a little quick top up rather of what we're on points. So if we just pull your teams back up.
I didn't think Wayne Rooney ever built a character even as an Evertonian.
What are you looking at there, Alex, mate? So Dabby's ass is dead in the water. You've got absolutely nothing.
Yeah. Murphy clean sheet, Hart nothing.
Murphy, Carboni, Giggs. You've got a couple of
and Jimmy, that's yeah, nothing much.
Probably maybe 12-ish, 13 points there.
Yeah,
maybe just slightly more, slightly north of 10, you reckon? And Alex, Lewis, sorry, let's just have a little look at you, mate. So you've got that Given clean sheet first half, you've got that Honshaw clean sheet first half, Hart yet to return, Blackburn not offering anything, and Turgay, Beckham clean sheet, and Alga yet to return. So again, yeah, probably 13 maybe there, off the top of my head.
That, yeah.
Martin clean sheet wipeout for me. Ziga first half clean sheet. Hupia clean sheet and a goal, an assist. Was it assist? Chelsea no clean sheet. Benarbia clean sheet and assist. Shearer nothing, and Rude nothing. I think we're more or less around the dozen mark there, all of us.
Pep says your spreadsheet says he's only got 18 points so far, and he wants a refund.
Yeah, well, to be fair, those 18 points are probably, I reckon, more than what the general population would be doing. Yeah, I cannot be held accountable for what the spreadsheet tells you, mate. It's on you, that. So yeah, let's do some halftime chat then. So Alex, talk to me about CMO 102. Talk to me about how you got into it, what your memories were, your cult heroes, the saves you kind of have.
God, well, I haven't played the game I'm 39. I haven't played the game for about 18 years, so I'm going pretty much all off memory. With of course your sim data helping. Yeah, I was going to ask someone in the Discord. I played a game before ChampMan, like before, was it 92 or 94 season? I remember the 95 season really well. I played a game before Championship Manager. I never remember what it was. I remember I used to always be Arsenal. I used to play with Alan Smith and Ian Wright up top, and I can't remember what that game was. I don't know if it was
Premier Manager 98 or something.
Well, no, it would be 92, 93.
92, yeah.
So when I was about 7 years old. But yeah, I loved that game, and then went straight into Championship Manager. Yeah, I mean, it just became, that was my thing throughout my teenage years. When I played in the evenings, sounds very sad, but I would go home when I finished, when my mum told me that I had to go to bed because I'd been playing too long, I'd get into bed and I'd pretend as if I was on like I was like Martin Tyler and Richard Keys and everyone in the studio, and they were interviewing me.
Yeah.
And Alex Reynolds, how's the first half of the season gone? Pretty well for you so far? And I'd answer it and stuff to myself, like in bed. It's completely crackers.
Yeah. Totally immersed in it.
Totally immersed in it. My God, yeah.
Any cult hero players that you absolutely worship, or you've just always fond memories of signing them?
Marcelo Salas has to be the one for me, definitely. Yeah.
Beast on CMO 102 as well. Yeah, absolute beast, isn't he? 20 finishes.
AC Milan was my favourite team to be, probably. The Boban era, that kind of era, that was my favourite team, was AC Milan for sure.
Class. And Lewis, what about you, mate? Take a walk down the with us and tell us about.
Started out CM2, but everybody else had the CM2 standard version. When I went out with my mum to shop in Stevenage to go and buy it for myself, I saw the German and Italian and Dutch leagues version instead. So I bought that one. So I sort of started out on the Italian and German leagues, really. So everybody else was buying Neil Lennon and Danny Murphy as Wonder Kids on the normal game. I was playing the Italian and German ones. And when we're talking about legends, for me, early days, definitely Ibrahim Tanko for Dortmund. Definitely one of my heroes, initial ChampMan heroes, along with people like Zickler and Heiko Herrlich, who played for Bayern Munich, people like that.
Yeah.
And then just went through all of them, really. My uni years were great because I started uni in 2000. So we had like ChampMan 99, 2000, then 00 and 01, then 02 and all the way along. And I basically just spent my entire uni years just basically getting high with my mates and playing Champ Manager sessions. There was one game I had, I think it was the 99-00 game, where I played with that Lazio team that was amazing. I literally won every single game that season. It was just ridiculous. I didn't buy anybody. I just played the same squad, and I won every single game in that season. I don't think I've ever done that without buying anybody since. It was just amazing.
What was the Parma team? Was that 98?
Yeah, it was before that because Crespo was at Lazio in 99. So the Parma, when he was at Parma, would have been the year before that. Right. And I think Veron was there as well, wasn't he?
Veron, Cannavaro, I think was there.
They both went to Lazio, didn't they? The year after, Veron and Crespo. And I've just played them all the way through. Really, I kind of stopped playing the football managers at around FM14. and I started getting into playing Civilization instead. So I had a bit of a break from Champ for about 5 or 6 years, I'd say. And then some of my friends got back into playing CM 10102, and I did that via the ChampMan102 website that we all downloaded our stuff from. And I've now got a database that I can play for pretty much every season, going from 89, 90 up to the current day.
Is that on the starter kit?
C102,
John
yeah.
Betts.
So it's just
Yeah.
So I can just jump in whenever I want. You know, if I want a bit of, you know, one of the kid Kai Havertz, I can jump on, you know, 2019. If I want to flex with Savicevic at Milan, I'll jump on in 89, and everywhere in between. But I think if we're talking CM0102 legends, for me, it's always been Carlos Tevez. I've always loved him on this game.
So he's only like kind of 17 or so early doors, isn't he? He's really young. Yeah.
He's really young. He's got a few 20s as a striker, and he's just really good. And there's him, and then there's Battaglia at Boca.
Yeah, DMC.
Battaglia's an absolute monster. He's so good.
Yeah,
he really is.
Yeah, there's a lot of those kind of South American River Plate. Ariel Ortega, Saviola, Martin De Michelis is at centre half at River as well on that as well. Sao Paulo, sorry. So yeah, you can definitely have a brilliant kind of South American kind of save. Got to give a shout out to a player who is unbelievable, but I don't know how to pronounce his name. It's SZMUC. He's a defensive midfielder, but you play him up top and he scores for fun because he's like heading 20, jumping 20. So yeah, check him out. He's a South American. I think he's an Argentinian, maybe a Colombian. But yeah, for me, it was kind of got me first like PC in 99. You know, it was like, and that was like a big thing back then. Like, I remember my mom having to like save for the full year to get us a PC for Christmas. And CM0102 came out, and then was just hooked from the off from there. Like everything, like writing teams on the back of like paper at school, and like searching the database for hours to find the best players and the best tactics, and then left it for probably between the age of about 13 and about the age of 18. Went to uni, met me now best mate there in halls, and just started talking about football. We both Liverpool fans, got onto that, started talking about our favourite players. One who had dropped in CM0102 on a night out, and that was that. We found it. I can't remember where we found it from. I think we had a disc version that we had on laptops, and we were, you know, hardcore network games playing head to head. And then in about, I'd probably say maybe it was about 4 or 5 years ago, he just sent us a text one night and just said, "You've got to get onto Twitter. There's this little CM0102 kind of community thing just like bubbling along." And he says, "We've got to be part of it." And you probably all follow the CM0102 Legends account, you know, the kind of main CM0102 account. So that's a lad called Alan Finnett, who kind of started that account, and we posted kind of streams and saves with him and stuff in the past over the last couple of years. And then lockdown hit, and the CM0102 kind of community on Twitter, as you probably know, just absolutely boomed. You know, you had challenges more or less every week. And then my kind of big thing that I got involved with was getting people online for network games, because people were so like intimidated by it. How the hell do we get a 20-year-old game on network games? And then we used to have network games more or less every Friday night. And then there was the Super League and the All-Star Atlantic League and Small Horse and Swemp, just unbelievable. And then, like, genuinely, I think I'd probably be twice the successful man that I am. Not that I'm very successful, but I'd probably be twice as successful in my life if I wasn't immersed in this weird world of CM0102. But I absolutely love it. Like, hook it into it and inject it. And and this Sevens crack is just the latest step in it for me. Favorite players, striker called Michalis Constantinou, plays for PAO, just absolute beast, absolute legend. But yeah, I think on that walk.
Were you guys playing the 11s, the 3 seasons in the past 3 years? Are you weren't?
I did a little bit of it, but not as consistently, because I was playing like the whole competitive champ crack. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was really, really into that, playing against other people online and all that sort of stuff. Oh, hang on. Can we see this? Have we got a Ouija board from Meg?
What's going on here?
I forgot I was using the Ouija board earlier this week. Now, what were the letters again? Oh, she's going to rearrange the letters, isn't she? On this tweet.
Oh, is that some top trolling going on there? Is it?
I think it might be, mate. I think it might be. We've got the double I's from the main account, which is always quite ominous.
I think coming back to what you were saying about like the Twitter community, I think the one thing I regret is only recently joining Twitter in the last year or so, because I feel I missed out on all that stuff beforehand.
Yeah.
But obviously I'm here now and getting into it. But I do regret not getting into Twitter earlier, because I've missed out on quite a lot of this.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a different, like, obviously there's the Facebook groups and stuff, and you've got that idiot who's conning people, selling people ChampMan laptops, literally second-hand laptops with ChampMan installed. Blows me mind. It's a little bit different. Like the whole Twitter crack is a little bit different. It's a little bit more kind of, I don't know, it's a little bit more pubby in the sense that it's just lads having a good time. Do you know what I mean? The Facebook crack's like full of twats, really.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're on to the second half. Oh wow, Stanic is off. We did not see that one coming. That is a big blow. He's hooked at the break for Mario Melchior. Chelsea still lead the game. Can Fulham find a way back? And at the Hawthorns, Marcus Hallback is on for Darius Vassell.
Just give me 2 minutes.
Yeah, of course, mate. It's not from that single tweet. So Frenchie is now saying that Meg's Ouija board is not from that single tweet, but from a number of tweets. Is that right? Interesting. Now, what were the letters again? Frenchie, you have got my head absolutely boxed. You are inside my head. I was singing I sent Tips a message before, and I was singing Zombie to him. I was like, he's in your head, Frenchie. Who's going to work it out? Somebody will be on it. We'll get the boffins on it. I'm busy streaming the night, mate. Usually I'd be trying to scribble down. Darren, get onto that, mate, and try and crack it. As we try and see some. Oh, there is Zola just firing wide. Chelsea are trying to extend the lead. Hasselbank gives Zola the ball inside the box, but you can only fire the ball wide of the post. No signs of a blank wall just yet. Eddie Torre is saying that Meg's getting blocked. There is an element of that. Like, is your life better for having no Meg influence? Do you know what I mean? Like, are you almost better for not listening to Meg at all, Lewis?
Maybe. I think some of the ones, like where you have a team who doesn't have shots on targets, I quite like that, because I can look at that compared to the sim data and figure that out. But I'm going to have to be honest, it did influence my 2-guy pick. It did influence that.
The Meg tweets did.
It did, yeah.
Right.
I mean, I had him last week. I do like him. I mean, when I look through the sims that I've got on my PC, there's a bit of an extreme with him. It's like on a couple of sims, he's got only 3 goals, 3 assists for the whole season. And there's 3 sims where he's got 8 goals and 15 assists.
Right. Okay.
So it's quite a bit of a ban for him, but he's got 2 and 3 already this season. So I'm thinking it might be. And he'll blank again tonight to prove me wrong.
What's great about your sneezes, Alex, is I can't see what's going on, because I'm looking at the tweets, so I can just hear you bursting a blood vessel every 5 minutes or so, mate. I appreciate you soldiering on. Talking about blood pressure, Charlton have put the pressure on. Blomqvist delivers the ball, and Yule has the header. Fabian Barthez makes a good save, but it's a warning sign for the league leaders. That sounds ominous. And we have a 3rd goal at Ewood Park. The second half has started as the first ended. Are we going to get a Robbie Key? Oh, no, there we go. We do have a Tottenham clean sheet wipeout, and it is David Dunn providing a return, the first goal of the second half. Quite a lot of people did mention Dunn in their first drafts, and we've got a Stig Igbionaby assist, which is a rare thing to behold. Is that going to be Tottenham being Spursy again and choking that lead?
Could be. We've seen that a lot of times this season, haven't we? 2-0 up and teams come back 2-2 or even 3-2. We've seen that 2 or 3 times, definitely.
What was the last one? Was it the away West Ham where they went 3-0 up and drew 3-3?
Blackburn have been involved in one.
Yeah,
I think Blackburn were 2-0 down to somebody and they came back. So they could do it again.
They've had a Soonest hairdryer at half time. That's what it is.
Well, he's clinging on for dear life, isn't he? Otherwise, he's going to be going to be sacked.
He's threatening a few people, I reckon.
Here we go then. Game on at Ewood. Two guy plays the ball out left to Bjornaby, who delivers the ball into the area where Dunn has lost his marker and taps the ball home. We are back at Craven Cottage, where we do now have a fourth goal. Blackburn 1, Tottenham 0. 50 minutes played.
Jimmy.
Jimmy double.
We've had 5 minutes of very little. A Zola return would be nice, lads. I think if we can spread the love, a Zola return would be fantastic, to be honest with you. If we can get it, and I think a lot of the chat would be in support of that, I reckon. But yeah, so we've got no Stanic in there. So who are the other big point haulers in there? Jimmy, Babayoro. Babayoro could be on for a haul if it's an assist or a goal. And Stanic is out the equation. Do you remember what Stanic's ownership was this week?
No,
let me check. 5%.
I'm just going to check now.
And here we have it. It is John Collins. There he goes. And that's a goal and an assist for Collins.
Stanic was 8.6%.
Oh, that high, okay.
Yeah, it's a weird one. That I would love to know the logic of people going Stanic over Babayoro. I think you'd have Babayoro every day of the week. Maybe they're chasing a repeat of that kind of 22 points haul from game week 4 or 5. So yeah, Collins is now in there with a goal and an assist. Yeah. Is he going to be the man of the match player in that? It feels like it, Alex.
Yeah, I mean, how many 30-year-old plus goals and assists have we got? We've got Collins, Windass, Roy Keane, sorry.
Sheringham.
Anyone else?
Sheringham. Bernabia has just got the assist, but it wasn't anything special.
They're all flying, aren't they?
All flying apart from two guy.
Forget a blank wall. Zola is in the referee's notebook for a trip on Collins. Steps up and hits an inch-perfect free kick in off the bar. Who are favourites now? Interesting. Fulham 2, Chelsea 2, 50 minutes played. Pep saying it's not Collins with the 2 assists. I mean, if he does get another assist, there's no reason why he can't get the 2 assists if he's got the goal and the 2 assists. Pep, I don't know what your logic is there, bud. But we shall see what the crack is there. 31 viewers tonight, lads. Well done, boys. We're a reserve stream team, but we've done all right there, I think, lads. We've held our own tonight. Cheers again for being amongst it. Lewis, in terms of kind of coming up with a 60-minute mark, any big decisions that you're regretting now this game week?
Well, for a start, getting rid of Bernabia from my bus team. I just got this feeling Anelka's going to troll me hard this week. I just got a feeling about it now.
Villa against the run of play, all back up self-free and sets up Kachul in the area. But thankfully, for West Brom, the tank, Des McInnes, is there to clear it off the line. What a player he is, by the way. Back to St. James's Park, the crowd are up. West Brom 0, Aston Villa 0. That sounds like a penalty shout. Or somebody getting snapped in the crowd wanting blood for red. Pep there answering with a plum. He went Stanic because he was attacking wing-backs against poor defensive players, so kind of looking for that right versus left combination. Of course, Fulham playing the flat back 4 as well. Yeah.
I think the Stanic as well is that he can get played as an AMC. If someone gets subbed off, he can get moved up further up the pitch. I think that appeals to people as well.
Yeah, I think Tip said that a couple of weeks back. I think it's a good shout because you know when you do see those, it is Carl Court. Wow, so Carl Court was on fire about 5 game weeks ago, and he does have this habit of popping up with a brace every now and again. And Christian Basidas does get the goal. Shearer is blanking, boys. That is not good, is it? So let's just try and work out what the kind of haul 7 would be here. So you'd be wanting Dudek or one of the Liverpool defenders. You'd be wanting, you'd want Hyypiä as your centre half, wouldn't you? Hyypiä, or Howie. Howie, to be fair, he scored the penalty, hasn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
Robbie Keane is your midfielder.
Way,
Babayaro, yeah. Robbie Keane. McPhail would be hauling, wouldn't he?
Mm-hmm.
McPhail and Robbie Keane double midfield pair would be absolutely rampant this game week. As we see, we've got another little bit of core comms coming through describing that goal. Court makes it 2. Titus Brambles too strong in the air for Rooney. Sorry, Jack. The ball ends up falling to Basidas, who plays it ball into Court, who's there to take a touch of fire past right. Shearer is the first to celebrate. We now have an opener at the Hawthorns, and that is West Brom and
Villa.
West Brom and Villa, who've offered absolutely nothing. We've heard Neil Clement's name mentioned a couple of times, and we'll see what happens there as we get the banner back up.
Who's this midfielder for Villa? Beginning with K, Cashlook or Cash?
Oh, Hassan Kashlul.
Yeah, Cashlook. That was it. I've never seen him before. What is he? Moroccan? Something
Yeah,
like
I think so. I think he is. Yeah.
And it is Andy Johnson with an assist from Moore. Darren Moore, big Darren Moore. West Brom 1, Aston Villa 0. Derby, that as well, isn't it? As maybe explains why it's been a bit of a stalemate, but we'll never know. Mahoney is dying for a Kumas hole there, but actually isn't happening there for the Kumas lovers tonight. Although you would be getting the clean sheet, as Darren is ruining the fact that that's not Big Des McInnes, who we had high hopes for tonight. Is that goals in every game now, boys? Is that there's no blanks now? Let's just have a little check.
West Ham Borough. Has that got a goal?
1-0. Yeah, so we've officially got a goal in every game tonight, which is always good. Yeah,
it's interesting these Meg tweets. So about a 30-year-old. So basically, 30-year-olds plus have scored goals and assists, and for the 3 home defenders getting man of the match, you've actually got way more than 3 home defenders that are on for a man of the match.
Yeah,
you got Howie, Sunji Hai, Darren Moore, Herpier.
Got Griffin as well.
Griffin. Yeah, so you got loads of them that are on for man of the match.
Maybe the Ouija board's going to come into play there.
Say again?
The Ouija board tweet you put out at halftime about letters getting jumbled, and it might be the numbers getting mixed up. They do say it's been coming. It's Route 1 football as Darren Moore plays a long ball over the top. Villa do not deal with, and Johnson runs in before putting it past David James. Graham Taylor looks on in disbelief. He feels like a bit of a dead man walking, doesn't he?
He is, yeah.
Time is up, Graham, I think. As bizarrely, Tips is posting in the Discord about chickens. I don't know if anyone's caught on to that. I don't know what the fuck's going on there, to be honest, boys.
People are chicken off to pick Robbie Keane.
Oh, the board isn't anything to do with the clean sheet hint. As we have some 60-minute subs, as the game likes to do. Igor Bishkan is off for Big Jamie Carragher. We've got Jason McAteer for Julio Roca, Kevin Kilban for Schwartz, Powell for Capaldi, Carruthers off for Carter, Lomas off for Kamara, Carrick off for Hutchinson. Labant is off. That's going to hit some people, 5% of owners, I think, for Schemmel. Marinelli off for Greening, Chambers for Warwalk. So really, probably, I think the only thing sticking out there is that Labant sub. I think Pep on Labant.
Breathe a sigh of relief when I see there's none of my players getting subbed off.
Who was it that was saying they were baited into picking Labant?
No, I think it was Ramanathan, wasn't it?
Yeah, someone was saying he was baited and is going to regret it. So we'll see what people make of those subs. Any kind of tactical changes?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, good mate. Yeah, you're all good.
My cat was chewing my wire. That's why I thought she might ruin
it. We've got Genus off for Gavilan. We've got Fernandez off for Hall. Marley off for Saha. Scholes is off for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Parker's off for Mosto. Rufus off for Reina. Berg off for Curtis. Sheringham is off. You spotted that, Alex Welling made. For Blondell, and Rebrov off for Asimovic. I think Fulham are going to end up winning that because of them subs. Look at the state of those subs. 3 subs for Tottenham. Is that?
Davies is decent, but the other 2, they seem a bit.
Yeah. It's a bit bizarre that, but yeah, I think Spurs are going to choke that. They're going to go all Spursy, Pep. Sorry, mate. Labant has been picked for the 2 weeks for Pep of the last 3 weeks. Can you guess which one I didn't pick him? Yeah, but you know what, mate? You're obviously good enough to get away with it, mate, because you're still in that top 10, I think. As we wait to see the impact of the Ouija board. Let's have a little look. So Villa come back at West Brom. Leonardson delivers and Alpe is there with a free header, but Murphy makes a good stop. Thankful that Darren Moore is there to clear the ball. Darren Moore assists, Darren Moore goal line clearance. Can West Brom withstand the pressure? Back to Ewood Park. Currently sits at 2-1. Is that right, boys?
Yeah. Poised
for Desmond, do you think?
Poised for two guys, isn't it?
Yeah, I hope so.
You reckon?
2-2-2 guy. Here we go.
As we wait for the tweet to come through. It doesn't feel like there's anybody kind of representing the hall yet. Is there?
No.
It certainly doesn't. You're not looking at one. Maybe Robbie Keane potentially with a brace.
Yeah.
No, you're all right.
Other than that,
I think.
Certainly not the bloodbath that the last couple of weeks have been with the likes of Cole and Rude and Thierry a couple of weeks back.
Yeah.
Strikers have been quiet the last few weeks, apart from there we go. He says that and he absolutely returns. It is a Desmond and it is Andy Cole scores goals. Dwight York with the assist as Blackburn pull that back. And we said, well, I certainly said it felt as though Tottenham were going to choke that, especially after those subs, and the impact is immediate. What's your money on that scoreline, Alex? What do you think it's going to finish?
Yeah, it could be 3-2. I swear, I think Blackburn have already come back from 2-0 down in another game to win 3-2. I think they were playing away as well. It could happen again.
Lewis, are we on for a Blackburn comeback there, mate?
Hope so. Again, I really want something from Tuchel. I'm just bringing up my sim sheet now to see if there's any three. Oh, there's a 4-3 in there. There's 3-3-2s for Blackburn in there, so it could very well be.
Andy Cole, who is fast becoming a must-have, I think, in people's teams, regardless of who the opposition are. He does it again. Two guys slips York through behind the Tottenham defence, and he fires the ball across the face where Cole is free to get the ball home. Desmond, can one of these two find a winner? They will try, and I think it's unanimous in the commentary box that we think it's going to be Blackburn. Two guy kind of getting an assist to the assist again. Both goals he's kind of being involved in a pass before the killer pass, mate. I'm sorry, I know that's no consolation for you, Lewis, but he's kind of involved a pass too early, I reckon.
But it shows that my judgment is a good player of sound. He's just not getting me the points.
Yeah. Was this last week?
He was, yeah.
The moral victory.
David Strom in the chat needs a Janssen winner here. That was a brave pick.
Yeah. I think we had a little bit of Janssen chat a couple of weeks back, didn't we? Where we were wondering why he wasn't getting played. Solskjaer fires over. Blank plays a long ball for Van Nistelrooy, who dominates his man before knocking it down for the Norwegian. Smashes it into Rosed. Unlike him for OGS. We have a third goal at Main Road. Are City going to be rampant?
I hope so. Come on, Anelka, please.
Yeah, it is Prem-Mat time, isn't it? We've not had massive hauls tonight from anyone really on the stream. It's and I know one of your worries, Lewis, was coming on the stream and looking like you didn't know what you were talking about, which tends to be the stream as every week, to be honest, mate. Who's this third goal going to be, Alex?
Benito Carboni
with that massive long marauding arrow down that right hand side.
Really long, strikingly black hair.
I'd accept that if it is an Elka assist. That's what I'm taking at the moment.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, look at that
result. It's the perfect result for the boys. Well in. We couldn't have asked for any more, and we'll actually play the gift as he's enjoying it. What a result that is. Asking you shall receive. Thanks, Frenchie. We have a goal for Benito Carboni and an assist for Nicolas Anelka, as both co-coms do get satisfaction, I think is fair to say in the chat. Thoughts on that, Alex?
Happy. Yeah, York assist, last goal, Carboni goal.
Nice.
Moving on up.
Absolutely. As we just trying to kind of see if there's anything popping out in the Discord in terms of scores for people. Nothing new in there, but Carboni is a quality player on this, and he's definitely put the game to bed there. City going to get a couple more, do you reckon?
Who knows?
What about the stat that one team doesn't have a shot on goal, an away team doesn't have a shot on goal? Reckon it's going to be
Good
Southampton?
spot. It's going to be Saints, isn't it?
Could be, yeah.
Carboni, brilliance. And Alca was pushed over by Bridges, and that's a dangerous game with this man around. Carboni goes to the keeper's side, but he's hit so hard and precisely that Niemi cannot stop the ball from ending in the back of the net. Is that Bridges putting himself about? Is that Wayne Bridge? Does he mean Wayne Bridge there?
Yeah, it must be Wayne Bridge, yeah.
Yeah, he gave away the penalty, didn't he? So maybe he's on for an absolute stinker. Give away the penalty and then he's fouled him there. Yeah, good return there. Question from Pep: are Southampton worse on this sim or worse this year in the Prem? It's a great question. Probably worse on this sim, to be honest. What do you reckon, boys?
Yeah, worse on the sim. Yeah, I don't think they're that bad in the Prem, to be honest. I like their style. I don't think it's guaranteed that they'll get relegated, to be honest.
I think
I like
in real life. They get relegated in this sim, though. I think.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
We're at St Andrews and Craven Cottage. Both things at both places have quieted down. Leeds are trying to shut Birmingham down, whilst Fulham have gone with a cautious approach since the Collins equaliser. More free kick brilliance. But where are we going? It's got to be Jean Franco, hasn't it?
Or Bex, please, Bex, come on.
After last week's setup, we cannot have a Zola blank. I've specifically put him in this week because he's now a cult hero as a result of Frenchie's tweet.
Two guy takes free kicks for Blackburn, isn't he?
Oh, don't.
Is he?
Don't. Hart can't take it. Don't.
Giga loves a free kick as well.
Hart can't take it. I'll have a Hart one, please.
The chat, the live chat is tipping up Bex. Let's see who it is. It's Lauren Robert, who has been surprisingly good. I think on this version. As Colcourt now gets an assist to go with his goal, I've got a couple of little goals just to catch up with, I think. So just unpick that one. How Lauren Robert, this sim, decent?
Yeah.
He's been all right. I think he hasn't got more than, he's got maybe 3 goals. So out of 15, 16 games. I don't think he's played every game either. Yeah, he's doing all right.
He hasn't. He's been in and out of the team, but he's quite consistent in like the returns he gets in my sims. Right. Like, 3 goals, around 5-6 assists, pretty much most weeks. But as you say, he doesn't tend to get played as much in this. There's someone else who doesn't get played as much, who I'd like to see them play more, who he is playing today, is Bernard as well, at left back.
Yeah.
He doesn't get played a lot, but he when he does play in the sim, he seems to get quite a lot of returns.
Lauren Robert makes it 3. He's an expert from set piece situations. Stubbs pulls back court, which leaves Robert with the opportunity, and he does not disappoint. Curls the ball over the wall with power, and leaves Wright rooted to the spot. It is now turning into a rout. Newcastle 3, Everton 0 after 61 minutes. Big result for the Magpies there. As we Mark Dorney picked Bernard. Good shout. Nice pick. And FPL Glassdoor is saying he's starting to see some returns. And AD Tour just saying maybe it's more than one away team that get the more shots on target. It's not a bad show, actually.
35% on Given will be happy. I think they'll be bothered about. They'll be happy that Shearer hasn't returned. They'll be happy that it's just Robert and so on getting the points, and Given gets his nice 6-7 points.
Yeah, as a Shearer owner, you're frustrated there that Newcastle have scored 3 and he's not been involved in any way, shape or form. Liverpool start to attack again. Berger involved as he feeds Barosh 20 yards away from goal. He's got a banana shot and Sorensen can only beat away. Diouf loses out to Thorne on the follow-up and Sunderland withstand the pressure. But for now, let's have a big Sammy Hupia goal there from the header, from a corner or something like that, I reckon. Let's have a little look what's happening in the chat.
You've already had your Hippier return. It's time for a Honsho return now.
Do you reckon? Yeah. To be fair, that would be typical. That we're now all saying, Hupier's going to get the man of the match, and actually, it could be Huncho with a goal, turns it around with a goal and a clean sheet, doesn't he? Mark Donny reckons it's Leeds with the shots on target, the away team shots on target. It's not a bad shout. A couple of shouts for some old champ games, and David Strom is saying Arisa Thunder goal upcoming. I'm wondering if that's a little bit of Norwegian allegiance there from Strom.
Oh yes, that's why he's on Janssen. Wait,
yeah.
What nationality is Janssen? Is he Danish? It sounds Danish.
Danish, yeah. Scandinavian kind of way. And we've got bookings for Reina, Cisse, Windass, Chambers, Warwick, Barry, Hendry, Vusso, Tiato, Bridge, Williams, Delap, Ormerod, Hall, Neville, and Dunn. And there must be a second round of Matt Janssen isn't Scandinavian. Is he Australian or something like that? Is he?
Good
shout.
I'm going to check it out now.
And we know there's more yellow cards coming because we know Van Nistelrooy. He's what?
He's English.
Oh, is he? There we go. Showed what he did at international level, really, did he?
From Carlisle.
From Carlisle. Nice. Yeah. Excellent. Yeah. Forgettable place for a forgettable player, I think. Sorry to anyone, to any Carlilians in the room, but as a Northerner, I think I can say that. West Ham think they are back in the game, but they are disappointed. Canio plays the ball out of Hutchinson, who plays the ball over the top where Kamara lobs Crowston and goes to celebrate, but sees the flags go up.
Don't know how to approach West Ham now for the rest of the season. Just don't. It's so unpredictable. It's a weird team, isn't it? Don't know if I'll be picking them at all this season. Yeah,
Frank, I'll come back to you on West Ham, mate. Frenchie just making a good point that any yellows talked about on comms aren't in the yellow report. So obviously your Van Nistelrooys and your Howies and stuff. Frenchie is just saving himself sure because they've already been spoken about. Thanks for clarifying, my man. Just coming back to you on West Ham, Alex. Are they a hard swerve at the minute?
Don't know about. Well, yeah, I think they're a hard swerve. I like Canute, but I don't get the formation. I don't know how it compares against other teams, and they're just so in and out, aren't they?
Yeah, David Strom. It will not be a Jon Arisa Thunderbolt because he's off, and so is Benarbia. So Benarbia is only going to return the assist in the first half clean sheet tonight, which is what is that 7 points, 6 points, 7 points, something like that. It's a bit of a shame. And Ayal Berkovic comes on being that MC. He's another good shout for that MC with the Diagaro. Eddie Tor saying no, he's finished. He's finished. Getting the Anthony Niemi crack in there, but he kind of. Ryan Nurse kind of teed him up afterwards. He's not finished. He's only 25. It does mean he doesn't get a second half clean sheet. David Strom. It does indeed. That means he's done for the night, mate. Got to play the 90. And some nothing subs around that. So, what have we got in terms of scores on the doors? We've got. I think we've just seen another tweet come through. Is that a significant update? City should make it 4. Benito Carboni has space and sees John Mackin completely free, sets him up, gets it all wrong, and plants his header yards off target. Man City aren't settling just yet. I think you're in for a bit of a haul from Carboni there, mate. I think there's at least another assist coming from there. Yeah, decent. Lewis, in terms of the kind of players that you're picking out at the moment, any particular teams that you're looking rather than the players, and then kind of you've absolutely got to have a United player, or you've absolutely got to have an Arsenal player. How are you kind of looking at it from a team's point of view at the minute?
When it comes down to defence, I think you have to be a bit boring and go for those big teams just to get those points in. But generally, I wouldn't say there's any particular ones that I would focus on. Earlier in the season, I was a bit more vibey. Like I used to pick Fowler a lot because I loved him when I was growing up. Then I realised that I'm not going to get anywhere just picking people because I loved them when I was like 12. So I sort of started getting into more doing the data things. But I'm going to be honest. I think if you said to me that I had to pick one midfielder every week for the whole season, it'd probably be Beckham.
Has he had a haul yet? Has he had like a 20-pointer or like a 15-pointer?
He's had one where we got a hat-trick of assists.
Right.
And I had him there, and that was good.
So what would that be? 3 4s and probably a man of the match, probably 16, 17 points maybe?
No, he didn't get man of the match. He got robbed of man of the match. He got 3 assists and didn't get man of the match. And I think he only got a 9 as well.
He's got 6 assists away from home altogether.
Yeah, 6 assists away from home, yeah.
West Brom are denied. Great play from the home side as Johnson plays the ball through to Kumas, who puts the ball on a plate for Clement, but the defender can only hit the ball against the post. Ooh. It was harder to miss than it was to score, rather. And we'll have a little look. Van Nistelrooy is saved. Becker arrives in the game and delivers an inch-perfect pass to Ruud. The clinical Dutchman is denied by a big save by Keeley. Man United haven't exactly been knocking on the door. I think we're in for a Charlton equaliser there. I'm calling it now. I think we're going to have a Charlton
man of the match, maybe.
That's a good shout. It's a good shout. Or if a defender from Charlton scores it, maybe potentially. Yeah, there's a reply under that, but there isn't a reply. That's from an account. I'm muted. Let's save ourselves that. Save ourselves from finding out who that is. Shall we have a little look who it is?
I'll have a look at it. Who it is.
Outed myself on stream there. Yeah, apologies to whoever that is. As we see, United's kind of holding on. Who is it, mate? Who is it?
It's Andy Martin.
Oh, yeah. Oh, honestly, yeah. Yeah, greatest to respect to Andy Martin, but I do think he sometimes forms a bit of content like by deliberately trying to wake people up. But you got to do what you got to do to pay the bills, big man. You got to do what you do to pay the bills. Anelka with a sitter. Tiato with some great work down the wing, and he lifts the ball into the box where Anelka's header strikes the crossbar from 6 yards. City could have had plenty here. We have an injury of one of our scorers tonight. As David Strom is saying, it's hard on. I'm sure Andy doesn't need my following to make himself a success. I don't think he's struggling for followers at all. Anelka with a miss. Yeah, you got it about that, Lewis?
Very, very.
6 yards out.
Actually, he just knew it. I come live on stream, and he's just going to mug me off, ain't he?
Yeah, it tends to happen, mate. Absolutely tends to happen. We have an injury to one of our scorers. Who's that going to be? That can't be Shearer, can it? Because he's done absolutely nada. Andy Cole is injured. As a big blow to Blackburn, as their main man has had to go off after landing awkwardly. Bring on Grabby to replace him. Will that halt their momentum? I think probably not. Darren's asking who's on mute. Yeah, let's not dwell on that. Everybody has their own views, boys, don't they? Brian Nurse saying
Darren's got the same view as you about him.
Has he? Yeah. Okay. Good. I think that's probably why I like Darren so much. Ryan Nurse saying, "I'll be all right then. I don't have a goal yet, so I can't have anybody injured," which is fair. Yeah, I've got double blank from my strikers here tonight, boys. It's first time that's happened in a while. And David H is saying he's not as annoying as Meg with the crystal ball there.
That's true.
Yeah. I love that Meg is Marmite. She absolutely kind of divides opinion, doesn't she? As we kind of lurching towards the close of play. Close at both ends. Morris laid the ball off to Lampard, who has his shot saved. Saha was then through the other, but it's superb goalkeeping from Cudicini to close down the space. Sava is following in, but Babiaro is there to block his effort. Is that going to be a man of the match performance for Babiaro? Yeah, we have a second goal at Upton Park. Is the West Ham new boy going to get his team back in the game? And you think if it is, it's got to be Joey Cole. And Frenchie is saying that nobody's worked out the Ouija board trick yet, Gills. So they are very happy that nobody has deciphered the Ouija board trick. Meg is still talking bollocks on Twitter, is she? Let's have a little look at that. Yes, just 6 letters from the Ouija board. I wrote them down somewhere on Monday. Oh, here we go. Forgive me. I definitely wrote the letters down somewhere. I'm sure I can find them if I look hard enough. Maybe you can help me where she wrote the letters down. She's honestly, she's sniffing glue, isn't she? She's on the Jamesons. I can't remember. Meg, crack on, love. I've got a job to do here. And let's have a look what's going on.
Oh, it's the postman.
Oh, it is the postman. It is the postman. Dean Windus. Yeah, I like that. I like that. That's a big goal for a lot of people, I think. A big goal for a lot of people. As Dean Winters has done it. Yeah, is Meg chatting nonsense still, is she? Let's have a little look. Where's she at? So, yeah. What do we think this is, boys?
I'm too ill and too tipsy to be.
What was the Mark Dorney asking for what Meg was on? What was the date on Monday?
Ooh.
It's the 16th.
18, yeah, 16th, yeah.
So she's wrote her letters down somewhere. That's from last week. Is someone sleeping? Yeah, I mean, it's stream's going to be on its arse if we try and decipher a fake fortune teller live, isn't it? Oh, there's the 5.
Yeah.
Oh, is it something like old MacDonald had a farm? E-I-E-I-O. Who's on a farm? Farmer. Who's a farmer?
Where are you seeing farmer?
Well, because E-I-E-I-O, isn't it? Old MacDonald had a farm. E-I-E-I-O. And she said I wrote 5 letters down. Just 6 letters from the Ouija board. E-I-E-I-O. That's only 5, isn't it? I'm going to say a farm. I'm going to say it's some sort of farm crack. Anyway, that's my guess. We'll see if I'm right.
Farmy had a horse. 5 letters.
We have the comms for the Borough. First letter of each tweet. Okay, let's try and do that. We'll come back to that. First letter of each tweet. So where are we at? Where's the Monday tweets? So we've got W-R-I-K. W-R. Right.
That doesn't work.
That doesn't work. Oh,
First letter of each tweet this week. Wait, E-A-T, eat.
F-A.
Eat shit, Meg. No.
Eat not at Effie. Oh, honestly, Meg, get fucked. Get a proper job. Let's go back to the live comms. Oh, and there is a comeback. It is a comeback. And there is the Matt Jansen return for David Strum there. Stig Bjornaby's having a blinder there, isn't he? Is that an assist? 2 assists for Stig Bjornaby? Yeah. But to Anfield, we have a chance for the youth. Slight touch from Sorensen. Matt Jansen does return a little bit. Obviously, we've established that Matt Jansen Scandinavian, as is Stig Bjornaby. Right, so what's he saying? The first letter of each tweet. Meg is like crack. She just hooks us in.
It's just, yeah.
So,
right, go up.
It's not R, K.
A.
Or is he doing it in reverse? E. He's doing it in reverse, isn't he?
If it's A, it's Arkeen. Could it be Arkeen?
So E.
Ooh, yeah.
N.
N.
Yeah, it's Keen, isn't it?
Oh, it's Arkeen, yeah.
K-E-A-N-E. Yeah, it's Robbie Keane, isn't it? It's Robbie Keane. We've cracked you, Meg. You fucking bitch. We've cracked you.
There's a goal, I think. Is there a goal? No, there's no goal.
No. 3-2. Jansen with a big moment. Bjornaby flicks the ball into Johansson. It was 25 yards out. Someone's got to clip me, call him Mega Bitch, by the way. And decides to curl the ball towards the goal. And he hit to the top corner. Spurs being Spursy, can they find a way back? We are 83 minutes. It's been a quiet second half, so maybe Meg's a bitch is going to be the he is what he is all tweet. I don't know. And Pep, who is a man experienced in the Spursy, knows that they're going to Spursy. David H, Roy, and Robbie. Yeah, that's good. That I like that, Meg. I'll take that back, Meg. I like that. But I want to know how worried Gills and Frenchie were when they put that out in case they thought someone was going to crack it early doors. West Ham continues to push. Di Canio finds Cole in the area, but he has no space, so he fed Hutchinson, who had time to pick a spot. But Crowsden comes up big again. Time is running out for the Hammers as Borough are 2-2 the good. Gills is promising more fun and games next week, lads. This really is like a little retirement home where unsuccessful men go to die, isn't it? Just like spent deciphering Mystic Meg on tweets, but we wouldn't have it any other way. We're into the last 5-10 minutes. How many tweets? Gills is saying you didn't even know what the first letter of each tweet meant. Think we're safe. Yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. You wouldn't believe we were degree level educated and stuff. Yeah, we'll see, mate. Robert strikes the post. Shearer is bundled to the floor and Robert steps up, curls his free kick. Shearer owners could have done with that assist. I absolutely agree, mate. Can you believe I'm on Ruud van Nistelrooy and Shearer with absolutely nothing to show for it? I'm just going to keep hitting refresh because what Frenchie likes to do in these last couple of tweets is just kind of like hammer them as quickly as possible because he sees the end in sight. Any late drama here, boys? Alex, what do you reckon?
Where are we? 8-7 minutes. Don't know really. A couple more.
I think there's going to be a United clean sheet wipeout. I think Charlton are going to do something late. Lewis, what do you reckon, mate?
Maybe a couple of late ones. But I'm going to be honest. I'm not expecting anything from my boys now, especially not from that fucking Muppet and Elka.
Spurs nearly steal a point. They push forward, and Simon Davies, who we mentioned earlier, crossed the ball into Keane looking for his hat-trick, but is denied with a huge save from Friedel. Jansen is there to clear the ball. We have a late goal at Upton Park at West Ham. Got themselves back into it. As David Strom says, Meg is what she tells you. She is indeed. It's like proper philosophical comment about Meg there.
You've been on a proper run though, Lewis.
What's that?
You've been on a proper run though last few games.
I have.
Yeah.
I was gonna have a couple of weeks where I don't get too great. Hopefully, I won't drop out the top 5, but I'm not confident of that.
Mate, I got 24 points last week and 17 the week before, so I got 41 points in the last 2 weeks. Literally just gone down a slide.
Biggest question of the night, lads. The missus is just texting Chippy or Mackey's. What are we saying?
Which one, Mackey's?
Chippy or Mackey's?
First one.
Chippy.
Yeah, Chippy. I think you're right, I think you're right.
Yeah.
As Kamara and Joe Cole, he's been very, very present in the comms tonight in the chat, in the commentary from the stream, and he does get an assist there. He really needs to kick on. Really interesting to see if we do a second season, if he gets a big move. He usually gets a big move in that season 2, season 3, as Glassdoor backs the Chippy shout. Yeah, let us know what I should be ordering here via the medium of Mystic Meg for the Chippy. What should I be ordering from the Chippy? Are we talking like it's too late for a kebab? Are we talking
steak and kidney pie for me? If I was going to
steak and kidney pie. It's a weird shout, isn't it? Alex, what you going for from the Chippy, bud?
Fish and chips, mushy peas, standard.
Is it? Yeah, loads of salt and vinegar batter. What you having?
Yeah, all of that. Yeah.
Yeah, get amongst it. Get amongst it. As the chat is almost as unanimous as the Van Nistelrooy ownership with the Chippy shout. Lifeline for West Ham. Canute with good hold up play before laying the ball off to Joe Cole, who delivers an inch perfect cross where Kamara is free and puts the ball away. Maybe Borough shouldn't have subbed Southgate. Will we get any late drama? Maybe. Here we go. Frenchie chicken kebab with sweet chili sauce and chips. Sweet chili sauce with chips? That's a bit mad, isn't it? I'm a god.
Why did you go to a Chippy to order chicken kebab there? Why don't you just go to the kebab shop instead? Surely they do a better kebab.
I mean, for me, Chippy and kebab, like Chippy is like, I don't know if it's a northern thing, but I would be saying Chippy's that like broad umbrella of like chip shop kebab, all that sort of stuff.
Oh, right.
Yeah, fish or pie for me every time at Chippy.
Pie, chips, curry sauce from Mark Dorney as we descend into the late food chat. I like it. Pep in there, no messing from Pep. I love that. I would expect that from Pep. Just take us down a wrap. No messing. Get it in there. Get it in a bit of bread. Wrap it all together. Get a bit of curry sauce on there. We have a chance at the Hawthorns. Moore has a pass. Moore receives a pass and has an effort to get Villa a last gasp point. Drama, anyone? We're off to the valley. Here we go.
Here it comes.
They always do this. Nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen.
Hopefully, Beckham might score.
No,
I think we're going to see
anticlimax
a
for me.
Jason Ewell 95th minute goal, I think. So just while we wait for that goal to come through, there'll be no team of the week this week. Be posted in at some point tomorrow, I believe. But there will be a couple of tweets coming out from Frenchie and the guys about how the double game week's going to work. So we will wait with bated breath on that.
Yeah, Ruth Red could be one. He's got booked already, isn't he?
That is not a bad shout. Van Nistelrooy misses another chance. We can only blaze it over Veron pulling the strings. He looks down at the turf in disgust. No excuses, Rude. As we wait to see if that is that. Do you think that's we're done? Or are Charlton going to go up the other end? Charlton going to go up the other end and bag an equaliser.
Could be it, couldn't it?
Yet to see the full times come through. I reckon he's got one more tweet in him. One more tweet, I reckon. Other than Robbie Keane, there's not really a significant standout tonight, is there?
You've got Robbie Keane, you've got McPhail, and you've got Collins. Those three, and I think outside of that, it's single returns, isn't it?
Herpia could be on for 10, 11, 12 points. Could be on for 13 points, right?
That is full time. That is full time. A quiet second half comes to close. No real surprises tonight. We do, however, have breaking news to bring you first thing tomorrow morning. I think that is going to be D-Bex off the Barca. Bonus coming up imminently. So full-time classifieds are Birmingham 1, Leeds 2, Blackburn 3, Tottenham 2, who out-Spursy themselves again, being 2-0 up inside the first 30 minutes. Charlton 0-1, but Man United owners across the midfield and across the attack will be really gutted that didn't really live up to the hype of some of the sim data, as we've seen, where it was a really big holes for the attacking players. Fulham 2, Chelsea 0, Desmond. Liverpool being solid as ever at home, 2-0 against Sunderland, who offered very, very little throughout the game. Man City, one of the performances of the night, really, 3-0 against Southampton. Carboni, Benarbia and Anelka, all the key players involved. Newcastle 3, Everton 0, no Shearer Hall, but a clean sheet haul for Given owners, who was highly populated and highly picked tonight. West Brom hanging on against Villa 1-0, and West Ham scoring late, but not able to do anything. There was a clue on who was the Barca scouts were there to see early on. Interesting. Let's have a little bit of a look. Pep, I think Pep's hit it on the head that the Man United defence was the way to go this week. Going against Rude has worked for Neil Thompson. He was definitely worried about going against Rude. Where we at? And there we go. We have Meg. The first letter of each of my tweets on Monday are keen. Seeing as you enjoyed them so much, I'm sure you're keen to play. I'm sure you are keen to play more games next week. Until next time, as we do have some scorecards coming in. So we do have where are we at? There we go. So we've got McPhail, who's looking good there. Leeds battering Birmingham a little bit. Man of the match for McPhail, which is unsurprising. McPhail Hall looks pretty tasty there, boys. What do you think, Alex?
Dean out with a 9. That'll do. Shots on target. Shot 1 on target. Tackles 6, 1-5. Yeah, Stephen McPhail, someone to keep an eye out on.
Yeah, he's really underrated. Him. He's got he's got really good creative attributes for a central midfielder.
Yeah, I think he's probably one that might build a little bit momentum over the next couple of weeks, particularly if Leeds have got maybe 2 out of 3 home fixtures coming up, because they've been away a fair bit. We've got save points for Vassin and Martin, and man of match for Steve McPhail, with bonus points for McPhail, Mills and Hart as the boys picked out there. Anything else come through? No, nothing else. There was a clue early on as to who the Barca scouts were there to see early on. Where was the clue? I think people are more bothered about points, to be honest, aren't they? Let's just stay there. I'm sure we'll see the breaking news. Charlton 0, Manchester United 1. The league leaders were far from their best, but they got the job done through Keane's first half effort. No bonus points at all. Save points for Kylian Barthez. Man of the match was Roy Keane with the goal to decide it. really low, that compared to some of the sim data that we've
yeah,
seen
definitely.
from United. Bit of a good week to not take any of the big Man United names for anybody that was mental enough to do that. 2 4s. Richard Rufus and Scotty Parker both on a 4. It's been a while since we've seen a 4 in any of the post-match cards. And there we have Roy Keane. How did Bex do? He's very much involved, but didn't win any key tackles. It's always going to limit your rating if you haven't made any key tackles. Yeah, very, very passive from Charlton, but United didn't take advantage.
Rude with a yellow as well, right? So -1.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. It's a bit of a killer, that. It'd be probably the first time this season where Rude will actually cost you points to have him. An entertaining West London derby ends in a Desmond. John Collins to start the show, but he takes man of the match. There we go. In addition, a maximum bonus at Collins Hall. That's pretty good. So what would that be? A goal, an assist. What's that? 7 +2 +2, 9, 11. Looking good.
Plus a clean sheet.
Bit of a look. Yeah, plus the clean sheet. So he'd be on 14-15 there, wouldn't he? Yeah, not many people would have been on him.
No.
Ryan Nurse was the clue Explorador no Impresionado after Sava scored. Could it be him off the Barca? Maybe. That's the clue, but if you translate it, that doesn't indicate Explorador no Impresionado. Someone do a quick Google translate on that.
Because they said they were at the Valley. They said they were at the Valley. There was
right
at the Valley.
Okay, let's have a little look.
Sorry, Valley Parade.
A dominant Liverpool home win. Cooper takes man of the match and a decent haul. He's probably saved my game week there, to be honest, boys. Pretty standard home 2-0. Sunderland, absolutely awful. Terrible. As Sammy has dominated that. Oh, but look at that. It's unlucky from Honshaw on us. Very, very close, but you do get the 9 point.
Stats is so close.
Yeah. It's a really good shout. It is it's actually the assist that just makes the differential there, isn't it?
Yeah.
We just said London. Okay. I need to stop paying more attention to your tweets then, French. You don't, as if I wasn't paying enough attention to them already. Go. Yeah, and I think the general vibe across the Discord and across the tweets seem to be that people haven't really done that well.
No.
I mean, what do you think? What do you think the most points is at the minute? 20 odd, probably. Man City 3, Southampton 0. An expected home win for City. Carboni takes man of the match. No bonus. Schmeichel and Niemi. It's weird that he didn't get a bonus for that Carboni performance.
Anelka, man.
Yeah, he's let you down there, bud, hasn't he?
He is. It's the best he's performed in the Sims, and he had the fixture, and he just trolled me. So never again, mate. Sorry, Nick, you're out.
Yeah, and I mean, what have you done any totting up of your points, boys? What would we be?
I will do in a minute. I need to find a pen actually. Give me just 1 second.
Do you know what you need, mate? You need an Excel spreadsheet that'll do it for you automatically. As the team's up, so we can just do some calculations as we keep hitting refresh. Newcastle 3, Everton 0. A disappointing night for Shearer owners. Only 1 shot. Newcastle didn't pepper the Everton goal, but they had enough quality. Griffin takes the man of the match. Points for Given and Wright in terms of saves, and a man of the match with Griffin with bonus points. So some unusual players coming out with hauls tonight, which I quite like. Alex, I don't know if you do, mate. I like it when the lesser players start coming out with picks.
Yeah, I mean, it's best if you haven't had a good week. It's best that it's the lesser players that do, right? So it means no one else has had a good week.
23 for me, I reckon, this week.
I think that's a decent score that this week, mate. I genuinely think that's a decent score. I certainly can't see anybody being north of 45, 50. Would you reckon, Al?
No one's. I don't know if anyone's going to be north of 40. To be honest, anyone that's touching 40 is going to be in the top 10.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah. As we will have the last tweets of the night coming through. Where are we at? That's not.
What's going on? What have you been searching, mate?
What have I been searching? Mate, me feed. It's for you. Me feed is either Champman or people like this. Oh, she's smoking a doobie. She's probably what's her face is who was on the doobies in the apple juice last week?
Shanley, wasn't it?
Shanley was on the apple juice, and I was on the.
Shanley was on the apple juice. That's a good shout. Did we all get the man of the match defenders? We'll come to this first of all. West Brom 1, Aston Villa 0. Villa did not offer much in this one. Save points for Murphy and Poom. Man of the match for Andy Johnson and Poom in there as well. So what are we saying? Was it five
clean
defender
sheets.
man of the matches?
No,
Griffin,
three.
It was
three. Griffin,
yeah.
Hyypiä, and who was the other one? Griffin, Hyypiä, and who have we not seen yet?
Interesting. I can't think.
Who have we not seen? So Griffin, Hyypiä, and
it wasn't Howie, was it?
No.
Because he went.
Don't think we've seen it yet. So
No,
we're missing
can't
which match
Not
is
seen it
what.
yet. See if it comes through. Not many to go now, boys. Not many to go now. Was it Windass? No. Windass isn't a defender, is he? No.
Centre mid.
Centre mid.
But he's having a good season, Windass.
Hmm.
Really
Yeah,
is,
it's decent. That's solid. That. I mean, look at that. 75 passes attempted. That's insane.
It's Marinelli that's not actually. I remember Marinelli last season in the 11s had a really good season. He's not doing anything, and he gets subbed off a lot. Marinelli as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, who's that last defender going to be?
What game is it?
Have we had Blackburn? Have we had Blackburn Tottenham yet? We haven't seen Blackburn.
That's the first one, I think.
Yeah. No, we haven't, have we?
I'm trying to get the thing up on here on my phone.
We haven't seen.
It's going to be Stigig. Bjornaby. Is it going to be Bjornaby? Yeah, he's got the 2 assists, hasn't he?
Yeah.
It's got to be Bjornaby.
Robbie Keane's going to get.
Literally last man standing, isn't he?
Oh, did we miss it?
Have we missed it? It must have been when that bird was on the Twitter there with a joint in the hand. We got distracted, didn't we, lads? There we go. Yeah, it is. Stigig Bjornaby. There we go. We did miss it.
Oh, Dwight York. That'll do.
Do you know what?
The boobs and the split.
The first 2 or 3 weeks of this season, I had Bjornaby, and he was absolute shite for me. So I'm not going near him ever again. And yeah, there you go.
So, Frenchie had said that there was going to be a couple of tweets just talking people through what's going to happen. But I think I probably need to get my head around it. So I don't think we'll kind of delve into it a bit too much. Lads, cheers for your time this week. Really do appreciate you jumping in when the boys were poorly, and obviously I think Darren will be absolutely back doing his thing next week once he gets over the AIDS. Anything from you guys before we clock off, boys?
You were the perfect host, mate. You were really smooth.
Yeah,
went
very good.
Nicely, flowed nicely. Well done to you, mate.
Yeah.
Cheers, mate. It's only as good as the core comms. You just keep it going.
Yeah, Lewis, mate, you'll have to get back on. Same with you, Alex, mate. I think you've both been brilliant value. Cheers for joining us, everybody who was watching along. And obviously, the main thank you has to go out to the boys that are running at Gills and French, who without it, we couldn't do any of it. So, yeah, boys, listen, thank you for your time. Thank you for your support. Catch you in the Discord and on Twitter in a little bit. And if in doubt, get the boobs and the spliffs out. In a bit, boys.
Cheers, mate.